go. This is Emily C., my new bestie.
I hate the idea that someone out there hates me. I even hate thinking that Al-Qaeda hates me. I think if they got to know me, they wouldn't hate me.
This stole the show. Emily C. was phenomenal.
There's something you need to know.
What?
You're doing great.
Look at my baby. Here she is. Emily. 10 out of 10. Huge fan.
I see Emily C says 123. I trust her. She's really good.
Listen, Turtle, you gotta watch your language. You gotta watch your language. I'm already live. So you need to follow the FCC guidelines.
She destroyed, left nothing in her path. It was so good.
Hello, everybody. I'm Emily C., and tonight we are FOIAing and finding out. I am really excited right now because I just pre-gamed this with Melanie, and she's just like, she's like the definition of how you make a little nobody like me feel welcome and included and like important in a space like this. And I just can't thank her enough for all of her wisdom and positivity and knowledge and encouragement and support, and welcome cupcakes to the sea creatures. Yes, Melanie was going over Colin's testimony and I was inspired to put this shirt on. I don't know, I'm like channeling him tonight. We're gonna have some fun. Before I bring on my beautiful, talented, unbelievably smart friend, BoozeyBeauty, I wanted to take you guys on a quick tour of what's going on the FOIA site right now. So for anybody who's new, Kyle Sharkey had been doing an unbelievable job of brainstorming ideas for FOIA requests of like information that he wanted to get and help make public records request. I have gotten some like pushback on Twitter. And it got to the point where he had gone back and forth with like Canton PD or Massachusetts State Police or Boston Police a couple of times on some of the requests, and they weren't budging on the price, and like the price was too much for him, or like he shouldn't have to take that on. So you had like a little graveyard of these FOIA requests that didn't end up going anywhere because they were cost prohibitive. He had one that was $50 and he was like, I don't really want to spend $50 on this, but like, I feel like if you ask some of your followers on Twitter, like people would donate a couple bucks and we could get $50 and we could do this request. So I put that out to you all, expecting literally $50. And within the first day, we had $800 in the FOIA fund, which is now named the FOIA and Find Out Fund because Oksana had the best name in her Venmo. So then we were like, whoa, let's like revisit some of those old ones that like we thought we would never get to. And now we're tackling those. Caroline has a great question, and you're not gonna like this answer, but like I'll show you where you can donate, but like don't donate yet because we have a good little nest egg, that people call it right now, that we're working through. And when we have too many donations, I feel like a lot of pressure to get all of the requests that I can to you guys. And I don't have a ton of time in my life because I have a little one at home. So I will reach back out when we've exhausted this chunk of change and when we need more. War chest, that's what it's called. So once we started going through those, then I was like, the other thing that I feel like is always missing is we're getting these FOIA requests back. And like, I don't know about you guys, but there have been days online that like all these people start sharing a document and they're like clipping screenshots from it and underlining and highlighting and pulling testimony. And I'm like, where did this come from? Like, who shared this? Where is this? So I wanted just a one-stop shop where I could have all of the information for you guys to be able to dig through. So I made the FOIA site. So this is the FOIA and Find Out site. And I'm just going to take you on a quick little, like you know, when you went on college tours, they just like walked you around. We're going to take a quick tour. So up top, this is where you can donate, but don't yet. We do have merch, and I did get a little pushback about having merch. All of the money from the merch is going into the fund. And also I make like $1, I think like the most that I could make on the merch is something like $3. It's like priced. If I tried to put it any lower, I had to pay if you guys ordered. So I didn't want to do that. But it's like literally the lowest price that I could put them. I just thought it was fun. So this logo is on merch. So on the FOIA site, which is linked in the description of this video, you can go see the Karen Reed trial transcripts that include sidebars. This quote from one of the sidebars in particular just really spoke to me, so I wanted to highlight it on this portion of the site. It's Bev saying, "So the transcript is made for the purposes of appeal, for the purpose of keeping this record. Nobody is getting a transcript of this case." Yes, we are. Why, yes, we are. And that reminds me, hold on. I want to say one more thing before I take you on the tour. Just to be clear to the people that don't love me out there. There, in no way do I think that we're going to get these documents and we're going to like solve the case. There's not gonna be a smoking gun in any of these where it says something like, "Hey, Higgy, remember when you X, Y, and Z? Like, come to my office later so that we can talk about when you did that thing." No, that's not what we're intending to figure out when we're doing this. In life, it is better to know more things. Like the more things you can know, the better. And in this case, there was a lot that was done in the darkness. And now that we have the opportunity to learn what that was, that's a good thing. And the most important person that we have to thank for all of this, alongside Kyle Sharkey, is Queen Corey Hopkins, who somehow has decided that this case is her life's calling. And we are so grateful that she has, because she is the person for this job. The Canton police didn't see her coming. The Boston police didn't see her coming. The Massachusetts State Police didn't see her coming. And she snuck up on them and she said, "Hey, you know how everybody's like really obsessed with the Karen Reed trial? So am I. And I'm a super, super smart attorney that knows all of the legal jargon that I have to say in these memos to get you to give me everything." And they don't give it to her right away. She says like, "Hey, so you know how you didn't give me that public records request that I asked for that is supposed to be public? Yeah, I'm going to sue you now. So that will be fun for you." So we have almost all of these because of Corey Hopkins, Kyle Sharkey, and a whole bunch of other really curious super sleuths out there who are just phenomenal. Okay, back to the site. So here are the trial transcripts. You will see in trial 1, I can't click on the folders right now and then it opens in, let me see, hold on, share this. It's all gonna be annoying. We're going back to this. I'll narrate for you what I see when I click on it. When you click on trial 1, you'll see so many transcripts, like almost, if not all of them. And then you'll click on the retrial and you'll be like, there's only 9 transcripts. And there were more than 9 days in the retrial. What's going on here? And that's a good question, because when they sent us the retrial transcripts, they said, "Enjoy your last batch of transcripts. See ya." And Corey was like, "Knock, knock, knock. give me the rest of them. And they were like, no. And she was like, yes. And they were like, no. And I think they're still in that tug of war, but she's going to get them because she's making them her little bitch. So stay tuned for those. These are the big, so these, of course, see, I knew she was going to get them. And okay, when I make that page on here, I'm going to put a screenshot of when they sent us the last batch and said, here's the last batch of transcripts. Okay, so these are the big ones, these like notice of discoveries. And it's basically, I think, in order of how the defense team got this discovery from the Commonwealth. So we're getting them in dribs and drabs because it's the Commonwealth. But I think now they're on an every other Friday basis. So the one we're going to look at tonight is this notice of discovery 4. And what's fun about them is like they're kind of like a mishmash of all sorts of things. You don't really know, or I don't really know, maybe Kyle knows, but I don't really know what we're going to get in them. Versus when you do a request and you're like, I want Commissioner Cox's emails on this day and this time and blah, blah, blah. This link is just worth a visit if you visit the site, even if you're not going to need the actual information, because this is like the gold standard of like, when people say you're not going to solve the case, you're not going to figure it out, blah, blah. Well, I don't know. Corey Hopkins and Laura Kornacka got Commissioner Cox fired basically from this FOIA request because as a team, they FOIA requested his email. I can explain it better, but it was basically like his emails that included Kelly Dever's name sometime in February in between when she testified to the grand jury and when like her story changed. And it turned out that there was an email from an FBI agent named Stephen Kelleher that said, "Sir, hope all is well. Just a reminder, the documents were released to the DA's office late last night. The officer we spoke about is Kelly Dever." And then the very next day, this is a good reminder, he actually just got himself fired. The very next day, well, they put in a FOIA request for his calendar. And he got that email on Thursday, February 22nd, 2024 at 6:23 p.m. And then on Friday, February 23rd at 11 a.m., he had an hour-long meeting with Kelly Dever, somebody that he didn't know had anything to do with the Karen Reed case. He had never even heard those two words together. He was in the state of Michigan. Oopsies. Then I just wanted to show you the new ones that I've added on here. I put them in red. There's probably going to be some like rainbow color coding at some point because it's me. There is Yuri Buchanan's. Oh yeah, you can't see when I click on them. There's Yuri Buchanan's post-commission in disciplinary records. There's the Colleen Crawford software information that Melanie was just looking at. You can find the ARCA report. These are just kind of like a smattering of CPD documents, Mass DOT documents, Norfolk County District Attorney's Office documents, MSP documents. This one I need to make a link because there are videos there now and I didn't link it, but I will. And that is that. Tonight, we are going to be taking a look at the Notice of Discovery Part 4 with this. Where did she just go? Boozey's gone. I was just about to click on her and now she's gone. So we will wait. While we're waiting, Mizzy, where did you just go? Tomorrow, Mizzy, where did you just go? Mizzy's here. Hi, Mizzy. And, oh, there you are. And tomorrow I will see you at Matthew Farwell's hearing at the Moakley Courthouse in Boston. and I'm looking forward to it. And set your alarms now. Set an extra one. You want me to call you in the morning? I think what we'll do when Boozey reappears is, yeah, like Bob got raptured, Boozey got raptured. There she is.
Oh, I can't hear you.
Why? Okay. What do we do about that, people? What do we do?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
What the hell?
That's weird.
I also broke my microphone, so I'm actually very surprised you can hear me right now.
Your sound sounds fine. You can't hear me, so I don't know why I'm saying that.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Take care. Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna start using sign language. I'm gonna learn sign language and then use it all in this time. I know the sign for more. We do that with Carter. I know gentle. I did that when I was a teacher. I know. Is this thank you? I don't know. That's all I know. I know more. Okay, back to the site then. I want to wait to go through like the kind of like tour of the part 4 when Boozey's here, just to see if there's like anything that like piques our interest about where we want to start. One thing I think is fun, if you've never visited the site before, these ones, you guys are all so cool. Like I love just like learning these things about you, that like Tatted Terp is a sign language interpreter. Like you guys are just cool people. I appreciate you all. I'm glad that you're our people. I say that because, well, while we're here, I say that because news that I am interviewing Adam Deitch on Tuesday has entered the other side of Twitter, and it's not pretty over there. They're very angry. Like, this is just how life goes. Like, there are people that disagree on things, and you don't have to see eye to eye on it. And like, I can interview a candidate that I'm interested in, and Note My Objection can interview a candidate that she's interested in, and we all just live in harmony. We don't have to tear down every single person for every single thing they say and every single thing that makes you feel a little bit like, ooh, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't think that. Like, you can just read something that you don't agree with, and then you can be like, I don't agree with that. And then you can keep scrolling. Not everything is a 10 with them. It's like, I made a joke about how Yuri spelled his name 2 different ways. He spelled it the Ukrainian spelling in one recording. He spelled it the American spelling in another recording. I just made a little joke about it. I wasn't degrading him. I wasn't making fun of him. I wasn't making fun of Ukraine. And I cannot tell you the responses I have gotten from the other side of the internet. They're like, apparently now I'm all the words. Any bad word you've ever heard about somebody, I am that, because I made a little tiny joke about Yuri spelling his name 2 different ways. Sorry. Also, I made Fervent a video to go with his unbelievable Welcher song. And apparently now I'm dehumanizing Welcher. I'm trying to get him fired. I'm like, no, we just were laughing about him painting his arm blue. Like, sometimes things are just, they're like at a 3. Like you don't have to love it, but it's like, you can be like, oh, okay, like that. Yeah, that was like a 2 or a 3. This one makes me feel like not everything has to be all the way up here. I don't know. Can you hear me? I can't see you. So can you hear me?
You can't see me?
No, now I can.
Oh, good Lord. Thank God.
But you can hear me, so that's great.
Oh my God.
We're doing
what
it.
A show already. Hi, chat. Hi.
Hello, lovely. How are you?
Hot. I'm sweating my
I'm glistening because I'm sweating. Like, why is it so hot?
I don't know. So the dogs were going a little wild before I came in here, and I noticed my microphone was tipped over. And then
Oh,
I went to untip it, and the top, like there's a knob on it, is just off.
Your sound still sounds exactly like clear as can be. So they were just being little menaces, but they didn't do too much damage.
I tried doing all the things behind the scenes. I try to make it as smooth as possible. You see why it's taken me so long to have my own channel? This is.
I mean, I am literally the exact same way, so I cannot even relate more. Yes, this was Melanie's, like this was the most perfect quote when she pulled that. It was like the day that everybody needed it. The quote was, winners focus on winning, losers focus on winners. And we're just talking about the other side of the internet and how friendly they are.
Mm-hmm. Super.
Everybody says hi.
Hi. I'm so sorry. I promise I'm here and I'm present and I'm ready for whatever we go.
We have BoozeyBeauty and Mitchell is Boozey Ugly. It's really funny, Mitchell.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
I was thinking we could start just by like taking a little tour of what was in this most recent notice of discovery. I liked Mel Barrett was calling it a nod. I think that's a good name for them. The nods, the notice of discovery.
Oh yeah, I was like, a nod of what?
Yeah, no, just a nod, a notice of discovery.
No, I like it.
I was thinking we could just peruse it first, just to take the full tour of everything that was in it, and then we can go. You can pick our first stop to take a deep dive.
Yeah, there's a lot. I once again only took like a little tiny tour. I didn't eeny weeny.
And even that probably, how come sometimes I can click and sometimes, okay. Anyways, in this document dump, you will find the handwritten notes of the troopers who did interview. It's a lot. The handwritten notes are a lot on their own. I hope that's not where you want to start because they're handwriting. Like, people, we've got to get more legible handwriting. Like,
I honestly cannot say anything. I got chicken scratch. So I was right there with them. Like,
it gives me such a headache. Like, how do they even read it back? Anyways, then we have Lucky Loughran's interview that I need to write myself a note. I need to add trial files, trial channels, baby channel.
Yes.
Put the Lucky interview up there and the Scanlon interview. So I need to add those links. And then we have a lot of correspondence from and between Kevin Albert and John O'Keefe, which was, I think, kind of like a surprising piece of this. Were you surprised to get that?
I knew we were going to get it eventually, simply because there's no reason for them to withhold that.
I guess the question is, were you surprised, like how detailed, like how much there was that was collected as evidence in a collision investigation?
Well, I know that was turned over because Reed's team had requested it, but that was the very first thing that I went in on. So that's really the only thing that I've looked besides some selective trooper notes. But there's stuff missing. It's not all there.
Oh.
Their whole chat isn't there. There are days and things that are missing. So
interesting.
Yeah, and I don't know what. I can't say what, but I know there's days missing. I know it's not all of it.
Well, and I guess that's what's funny about these too, is like, you don't know if it's just coming in the next one or if they're just not including it.
Yeah, I honestly,
never know.
And that's what I was saying too. I was like, was this what was given from Canton PD to the DA's office, or did the DA's office get everything and they just cherry picked? And in all honesty, to me, it could be either way, but I also feel like Canton PD has been consistently protecting Kevin Albert since the get-go. That's what it looks like also for the key swipe data too. So it's just it's we'll get into it. It's interesting.
So that's where we're starting already. Okay.
She's like, okay,
So
you know this.
the way that they organize these, just so you guys know, there's like folders where it's like each one of these folders comes with like a cover letter that will tell you what's included in that folder. So this one has a copy of video sent from John O'Keefe to the Canton Police, to Canton Police Detective Kevin Albert, 911 calls that are interesting. So that in each one of the folders, if you want to kind of like have a menu, I would start there. That's just my recommendation. In here, this is where Melanie got the Brian Albert Jr. interview, the Colin Albert interview. There's some random information about Karen's Lexus from Burla. That's in, oh no. Every time I do this, I end up like in somewhere weird on my computer. Okay. Here they have in 24, there's, I should move that to the other one, but there's more John O'Keefe and Kevin Albert text, which also makes me think that they were in multiple drops, which maybe means we're going to get more eventually.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Fine, I'll stop having faith in them. When will I learn? Ricky D'Antano's interview. There's the very real, very legitimate, not sketchy at all screenshots between Allie and Colin, and then the other.
Even that is cropped. Even if that's a legitimate screenshot, that is cropped too. That's not the whole thing, and that's what they put to Karen's team for discovery. That's wild. And then,
but then they had the metadata. This is where, see, we're already in the rabbit hole. But then in Allie's interview, suddenly when metadata is important, like, what is this? Not that. That's not what I wanted.
There's so much.
Why does it keep opening a different thing than, like, what is happening? Anyways.
I don't know. And Mercury's not in retrograde right now either. I don't know what's going on, man.
What if I open it from my desktop? Hold on. In Allie's interview, they include screenshots of the pictures from her phone of Colin. And suddenly when they need the metadata, they have the metadata. I'm going to do it this way. Hold on. Stop screen, start screens, share screen. So down here, there's pictures of Colin, and oh, wow, they do know how to include metadata on something because this was important and they wanted to include that, so they did.
It's not that hard. They know this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's cool. Anyways, back to that's fun.
Great.
Like, is this how all of these investigations go, or is this just a Norfolk County special?
Well, I mean, I was curious to see what was going to happen with the Anna Walsh case, and like even like the whole Greg Connor and the search warrant of it all was wicked sketch. So it's like you would really have to go back to see all the recent cases to see what is consistent with them, and it seems like they're consistently trying to just get a win more than anything.
I'm not entirely sure that Proctor or maybe even Lally know the process of getting a search warrant, because like when Rosemary Scapiccio was grilling Lally about search warrants, he was like, I don't know, I just like they just like end up on my desk sometimes. Like what? And then like for Proctor to be handing over like 1.5 search warrants, like, did nobody train you?
Well, I mean, I feel like that's the reason why Lally agreed to be on the Reed case in the first place, was because he was easy just to be like, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, oh, nobody else wants to? All right, what happened?
Okay, I can.
Simnai Boss, I can never pronounce your name, I'm sorry, asked if we've gotten the written autopsy report.
We won't get it.
You know?
We won't get it. That's medical. We won't get it. There's very limited stuff that you can get from medical. So I feel like we might get limited stuff, but the details we won't get. We won't.
And at least with that, I feel like we heard from enough kind of like credible experts between like Dr. Stonebridge, Dr. La Posada, even Dr. Scortibello, kind of round two better, but that like we can piece together what that autopsy report said without seeing it.
Oh yeah, and if you guys even go back and watch trial 1, I was able to screenshot a bunch of the stuff and like make it into one like little, I guess, image, I guess. So it's all out there and a lot of it was seen, but like you won't see pictures. I mean, the pictures that we saw are the pictures that we saw. And then if you go back to trial 2, Dr. Welcher also put in some images that were caught on camera. So if you do want to see some more, you can go check out.
And his report had photos in it that are available, right? We have his full report now, right?
Do we?
No, I would, as I just said that, I don't think we did. We have
Whiffen, we have Hyde. Yeah.
It's also funny, you guys, in the ones that are like some like Tully's email, that's actually where we ended up getting like some of these reports because they were attachments on the emails. We do have Welchers. Yeah. So that it's like you kind of anything that was like up for grabs in the emails. We have Richard Green's, we have Shannon Burgess's, we have Welchers, and I just haven't made a thingy for him. I have to find that. Okay, so here we have the Steve Scanlon reporting, which I'm like kind of bored of already, so I don't think we need to go over that.
Yeah.
And
although I will say about Steve Scanlon, do you know how everyone was like, well, it can't be true because like, well, I shouldn't say everyone. There were some people that were like, you know, he didn't have a broken nose. So then how would that's not accurate. That's not real. I'm like, if you look at the other side of John O'Keefe's nose, it may not have been broken, but it did have a rather significant cut on it. And I don't know about you guys, but if you've ever gotten a bloody nose, if you've ever gotten punched in the face, if you've ever had a bloody lip, the amount of blood that comes out of a nose or a lip, it can look like something's broken.
So when I was teaching kindergarten, the kids would just like randomly get a bloody nose if it was like dry that day. And like my classroom would look like a crime scene.
Yes,
it's like this little tiny person got a little blood, or they'd be like, and they wouldn't know how to like cover it. So it would just be like leaking blood everywhere. And I'm like, where you have no more blood left in your body now? Like, how does your nose bleed that much? And it comes out so fast. So yes.
Yeah. And if you were to see even like the cleaned up photos of him, you know, unfortunately on the table, there's still blood coming out of it. So it's like, I can't imagine if whoever told Steve Scanlon that through the grapevine somehow, someone thought that John O'Keefe had a broken nose, and that's because it had a lot of blood coming out of it, and that's because of the big cut that was on the side of it.
I will say, if Steve Scanlon was scared about leaking information or whatever, or saying something that was going to get out, like, dude, it's out now. So why don't you just go the whole 9 yards? Because if there was a family that was going to be mad at you, they're probably already mad anyways. So why don't you make them really mad?
Yeah, it kind of sounds like from what he heard, he just felt that it was such an injustice. And then when Karen got indicted, he was kind of like, you know, what the duck? So he probably felt like his gut told him he had to do something, and then he walked it back. So it's like, you know, if you're going to do something like that, you got to go full balls to the wall, like Lucky, the plow driver. You know, you got to stick with it. You can't just backtrack.
I feel like Lucky doesn't have it in his bones to backtrack. He's like, this, you're asking me. It's like he wouldn't have come out and volunteered it. He's like, I'm not going to get involved. But like, oh, you found me and you're asking me questions, and the only way I can answer them is honestly. So here you go.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just straight up like, well, I didn't see a body. He was so just matter of fact, like,
but did Turtle Boy scare you?
did you see like how big Franken truck is? That thing is massive. It's a dump truck with a plow. Like, it's not just a plow truck. It's a huge ass, like, I don't know if you went through all of the dash cam footage. It's a lot. Chat, I understand if you didn't go through all of it, because it is a lot. It's a lot. But there's one part where Lucky actually does drive by, which he testifies to. He towers over the Canton police cruisers and Lank's truck. It's huge. So no wonder if you have a Ford Edge that's a similar height of a Canton cruiser, you can see over that. So even if the first like 2 feet next to the car is blocked, he can still see over that. So
and he has headlights on, and it's like fresh dusting of snow. Everything is white. Like, it for anybody in the chat that like lives in a warm weather place and like doesn't understand the like mechanics of snow, when there's about to be a big snowstorm, you can like feel it in the air even before the snow starts. And then when the snow starts to fall, like if you wake up in the middle of the night and you look out your window, it looks like it's 7 o'clock in the morning. It's like so bright outside, because the way that like this, it's like even when there's not street lights, it's bright. Like the snow is just bright then. He's looking down a road. He sees a car. He knows the car. Like, there's nothing to trap him on. And the way that they tried so hard to get him to like get tripped up so they could be like, aha, his story changed. Like, no, it didn't. You were just asking weird questions. Like when Hank said like, which house had a dumpster?
He's like, so you have a really good memory. Do you remember which? No, the reason why he was looking at 34 Fairview Road is because he's familiar with that house because of the family. He has grown up with that family. That's like with any of us. Whenever you drive around places that you know or grew up around, you're going to look at places that you know. That's why he looked at 34 Fairview Road. And because there was a damn car blocking the street. Yeah. Emily, you've driven down that road before, right?
Yes, like a bunch of times.
Yeah. So you know how tiny it is. Even the 2 lanes. There's no sidewalk on Fairview Road.
Yeah.
So like,
do you know I didn't realize that at first, and it like kind of messed with my head a little bit, looking at like the team search and stuff and like where they found things. And then once I realized that there was no sidewalk there, I was like, oh, that makes sense. Like why the shoe is like pushed up. And then you like see the yard, like everything kind of made sense to me once I realized there wasn't and
you can call like the edge of like the Albert's property. They call it like the berm or whatever. If you want to call it like a little ledge, you can call it that, because it literally just drops off and then it's street. And that's why it doesn't make sense for Higgins to be parking over there, because he would have blocked almost the entire road, especially with the plow. Yeah, that's what Higgins had a lifted Jeep. This wasn't just a regular old like how Jen McCabe has the white Wrangler. It wasn't like that. It wasn't a mom type of Wrangler. Like, he actually put money into this thing, put nice big ass tires on it. Like, he spent some money making this. You could call Higgins like a car guy, right? Because like, he had what, 4, including the Jeep, and then God knows if he had anything else too. Like, Higgins was a car guy, so it's like,
well, but he lives at the Canton Police Department, and he has that big whole parking lot that he wanted to fill up. Why wouldn't you?
Well, and Berkey let him do it, so why not take advantage? You know, I feel like he got away with the most out of any of the people in Canton in PD. Higgins got away with the most because Berkey just loved that he was federal.
Yeah. The whole relation, it's all so weird. Also, thank you, Ben Burnett sent $25 for coffee for the ladies.
Yay.
Can we spend it on wine?
Yes.
Okay, so then in this dump, back to calling it a dump,
drop,
there's I know, drop doesn't sound right.
Yes, it does.
There's stuff from the crime lab. There's stuff about the DNA results, and if there was dog DNA, or And the way that people love to say, well, there was no dog DNA. Actually, it was inconclusive. So it doesn't say that there's no dog DNA.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's some other stuff.
That's just what they secured. I
can't even actually look at that right now. That's one I need to go back to, because that will be the bane of my February 10th is a day that like actually like destroys my sanity. The way that they said all these things happened at the same time.
That's because you were literally recording yourself walking out in the weather, and you'd be like, no, the weather was like this that
No,
day.
that was on January 29th. On February 10th, it was a beautiful sunny day. All the snow was no, actually, I think on February 10th, it wasn't it. February 12th was the nice day, but February 10th, they were like collecting tail light at 5:30, but at 5:40, they were at Chris and Julie's. Like, you guys are not that, you're not go-getters.
I haven't looked at any of this. Oh boy.
This cracks me up. Okay, hold on. Oh, how do I make this bigger? Actually, wait, I know how I can make it bigger. I'm going to share it from my desktop. Okay, you guys, this is the, I'm just going to call it like the Instagram photo shoot, because I don't know what else to call it. It's like where they like lay everything out and say like, look at what we got. We so proud of ourselves.
She said Instagram.
They set it up all like they were making, what folder was that? Like they were making a little Instagram, like they're like teenagers. And the people who are photographing it have these looks on their faces like, you guys can't really be trying to say that those holes happened from tail light, are you? Okay. So a lot of times you'll open it up and there'll be like a big redacted, evidence view. That's the fancy word for Instagram photo shoot.
Trial channel said show. Trial channel said show and tell.
Exactly. This is their show and tell.
And look at this taillight piece. Can you imagine?
And I want to point out, to me, how do we get over here? How come computers are not easy anymore? Yuri looks nervous to me.
Tully, excuse my French, just like a big old dickhead, in multiple ways. He just looks like a jerk.
As usual. Also, why is everything that they own just a little bit too tight?
Yeah, what the hell? Put your pecs away, sir.
Like, look at this guy's shirt. Just normal dad shirt. Just he went to work this morning. What's happening here?
You just, they get their time to work out. They work a lot of chest. That's what they do in the gym. Pick up heavy things and put them back down.
Pick them up and put them down. Okay, also they're called beast items. Corey, do you know why? Boozey, do you know why? Everything is called a beast item. I don't know why. It's probably an acronym or something.
Probably.
I don't know.
We're just being uneducated fools now. It's okay.
Beast items.
We can joke.
I mean, these are the parts that they clip, and then they end up, and they're like, "Look at this dummy." And then one person who loves me, hi friend, puts the Dora the Explorer song at the end of all of the clips that she does of my show. So thanks. I love to see those. Can't wait to see this one clipped. And then, anyways, they put half the taillight back together at that point. Super sleuths.
Wait, hold on. What's that? Because I know my taillight. Wait, hold on a second. Can you go over to the right a little bit and go over to that gray piece? What the fuck? We have never seen that before.
To me, it looks like the part that Carrie says that she was worried somebody was going to rip their jacket on.
That's not on any of the other images. Wait, but hold on. So we got the L chrome piece that's still there. I can still see the broken L chrome piece. I can still see the bottom of the broken L chrome piece. What the duck is that? That's not on any other image. You guys. If one thing I know the most, it's this damn tail light. What? But the fact that it's not in any other image either makes me be like, that's suspicious. That's weird.
Also, how come they don't have any information on, like, there's not a report that comes with this that says like the day that they did this or anything?
Someone asking, what's that sticker? That's from the crime lab. Any of the
Mhm.
white rectangular stickers like that with writing is all crime lab.
And what's really fun when you piece it all together is then you can see that like this little corner of the taillight was all found by Proctor. And they all happen to fit together in this one little corner of the taillight.
Right. And that's why too it's so suspicious, because I was able to match up. You know that scratch that's on that gray piece? You can't really see it in this angle right now. It's right next to the side reflector, that big old hunky dunk piece. You can literally match up if we go to the other images, not here, but like wherever we go.
Mhm.
That scratch matches
Oh.
up to the first chrome piece, and then there's damage underneath the diffuser, and then on top of the other chrome piece, and then the other diffuser. You can literally see where someone took, people are saying like a flathead screwdriver, whatever was used, you can see where that went in like that. It's crazy when you start looking at this thing close up to be like, wow, they really did do this. Whoever did it, someone really did do it. They really did. Because there was damage before, and then they took advantage of that and damaged it more.
It is like really crazy to think like there was somebody who was like, okay, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Like I know that, but like it's really kind of crazy when you like actually play it out.
Think about it. When you really think about it, because they were that desperate to get a win.
Yeah.
It's really crazy. Like,
that's crazy. Also, like then that didn't happen that night. Like they just took a couple pieces. They just broke what they could find that when like right away, like right before the team search, they just took what they could get, but then they went back for more, right?
Right.
Like,
right.
So there's a bunch of evidence bags. Take your data to work day. I like that a lot. Or take your data to work day.
Right.
Piece of plastic. Piece of trash. Hi, Lauren. Like, where's the straw? Because the straw should literally just be like litter.
It's not
Random
even her
piece
straw.
of litter.
It's not her straw.
It's literally litter.
And you know what? Like this whole thing has me questioning, is that even her glass? Because her freaking DNA's not on it. And neither is the bartender. It was only 3 male DNA, John and 2 unknown males. She was touching all over it. You would see female DNA, and there's not. Diffuser.
I was just about to say, there's your favorite piece.
There
it is, you guys. There's the diffuser.
Honestly, been so obnoxious now that everyone knows what a damn diffuser is.
There's the debris, like where they claim that there was. I think that's the part that, like the scrapings, where they.
Hold on. Yeah, go that way. Go that way. Go that way.
Yeah, this
go
piece.
That way. That is not a freaking Tupperware lid cover, people. It's not. I'm telling you, everyone's like, well, I think it's just random trash. Well, I think it looks like the wonton soup container. It's not. That is a protective cover for some kind of aftermarket part on some type of vehicle, snowblower, something. It's made of like a very thin acrylic or polycarbonate. It has some weight to it, but it's really thin and it snaps. That's why it looks like that. Like all the edges are all messed up. I hate that I know this. I honestly hate that I know this.
This is why you're here. We need your brain.
I hate this. You want to know the diameter of it? Because I know that shit.
Well, wait, I wonder if there's more. I feel like somebody would have found this already, but if there's more information about that, is that 7-5?
There's really not, though. They didn't investigate this piece. Like, the only real things that we have are these images, and then from the crime lab, they never.
Well, no, but that's what I was
going
to say. Is I wonder if in this drop, if there was more information from because they did a good job in the crime lab, like describing what things were, and I wonder if there was more of a description about that.
Not really, and I think that's why everyone's like, "Oh, I just think it's random trash." I'm like, it's not. It was found right next to 2 pieces of taillight. It's not.
Also, you guys,
this has something.
Proctor and Yuri weren't like uncovering. They weren't taking extra what do you call it? Like extra evidence. Like they brought it and they took it. Like,
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
that's especially weird, because then it's like, well, where'd you bring that from?
Yeah. So the reason why we know it's a lid, and I actually, because people were saying this on TikTok too, and I was like, let me bring you to my cabinet because I'm a takeout queen and I have every type of takeout container you could possibly think of that I've repurposed. There's no, like, you know how when you have the lid and you put it on and there's like a little section where it connects to the actual container. So there's not that on there. And then people are like, well, now it looks like the bottom of a container that was run over. I'm like, no, it's not the right material for food storage. It's a very thin. It's very thin. Like if you were to pull up when Yuri holds it up in trial 2, you'd be like, oh yeah, no, that's not a takeout container.
Also, Yuri's reaction when he holds it up, like, should have given it away in general. Like Yuri held it up and was like, please don't look at this. Please stop looking at me right now. But look over there and look anywhere but here. You know what it does look like a little bit though, is today I gave my dog the lid of the cream cheese container, and there was like cream cheese in the like crevice around the top, and he like unfolded it to get to all the cream cheese, and it kind of looked like that at the end.
Yeah. No, this is it's around, so the inner diameter is 4 inches and then there's like an inch edging on it that's supposed to go all the way around. So that would be like a cover for a fog light, a cover for an aftermarket light. Someone even pulled up some Jeep mods have something over the gas tank cover that can be for extra protection. It's something like that. It comes from
What
something.
day did they find this one?
The 3rd.
And that's the one where there was other people. That's the one where like Zach Clark was there, so they couldn't be sketchy. Well, they could be sketchy, but like not real sketchy.
And Evan Brent, because he was photographing. So it was almost one of those.
And Maureen Hartnett was there too.
Did she go to 34?
Or she was like at CPD that day.
Oh.
I don't know if she went to Fairview, but she was at CPD. It was the whole party.
Yeah. See, I feel
also,
like
Karen had already been arrested on that day.
Right. And honestly too, I feel like if it was just Procter or Buchanix, like they would have not picked up the straw or this other plastic piece. I feel like they would have left it out, but there was peer pressure because it was in the mix of everything and they had to, because it makes no sense. There's no reason why this straw and then that plastic, whatever it is, should be in there with it.
You know that they were walking around that day, like looking like Sherlock Holmes, like being like, okay, like what do real investigators do? They're like, like, ooh, what's this? They're like trying to pretend like over and out. Okay.
Yeah. No, it's so interesting to see too, like how some of them have just left Norfolk County, not kicked out, but like they're just like, yeah, we're not sticking around here anymore. It's like when we had 4 Canton police officers retire all at the same time. Remember that?
Like when Tully just randomly retired, because that's what people do when they're like in the middle of their 23rd year and they're 2 years away from pension or whatever it is.
Do you know what he's doing now?
What? Is he a private investigator? Is he a gym rat? What is he doing?
No. So someone sent me something where I forget the name of the company, but he got flown out to be like an expert, and he was like a speaker at this, I don't want to call it like a cop convention, but it was like some training or something where they were bringing in like a bunch of experts. And so he was brought in from the Massachusetts State Police to talk about technology and how it's used in different cases. And actually the person that I was speaking to that was there was like, yeah, he obviously did not mention Birchmore or Reed. I was like, gee, I wonder why. Wonder why. Yes, expert. Oh yes. Wild. And this person was like, yeah, our whole table was just laughing, because it's like, you don't think we just watched 2 trials? Like you don't think we know what you were up to in Massachusetts? But the only reason why he was even there was because there's a Mass State Police whatever that's a part of this company. So then that person pulled strings to get Tully in, and then Tully retired.
Oh, no way. They all have connections. I had no idea. But like he didn't even sound knowledgeable when he was on the stand. Like, who was like, I know just the guy.
Right. It's a joke.
The picture I wanted to get to. Okay, well, first of all, like, miss me with that, like, Proctor found this. Like, in the yard where there's mud and dead grass and like a little bit of melted snow, but mostly like a muddy, it's like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Is that the cocktail glass? I think
it just says pieces of glass. Nothing's, they didn't try, like, their parents didn't prep them for show and tell. They just kind of like threw something in the bag, and the kid got to school and was like, I don't know what this is. My mom told me to bring it. Like, they didn't do the work.
I just felt bad for Christina Hanley with the crime lab, and she was like, remember trial 1, they wouldn't allow Alan Jackson to bring in the chalk that then was allowed for trial 2, which made it so much easier for all of us to understand. But like, try to understand. And there even was like one more step they could have made it even easier. Like, he could have been like, this is glass 1, but like Bev didn't allow that, obviously. Well, so it's still like 7-4-1. But she wasn't going to allow it either, Christina Hanley, because she wanted to stay as accurate as possible. So it's like, because I remember during trial 2, he'd be like, okay, so the glass, can we call it like the broken cocktail glass? And she was like, well, and then she went off with the numbers.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
That's why test chart in trial 2 was like, I'm sick. And then just didn't come. She was like, I'm not doing that again.
You know who I miss was the guy that did the blood extra whatever for Karen and did that. He was so honest, because Alan Jackson was like, well, what if she went home and had a drink? And he goes, well, that would affect the number. And Alan's like,
yeah. That, like, it was so like jarring every once in a while to like hear an honest person, and then you're like, oh my God, I like forgot for a second what it sounds like when you're just like honest.
When you're just not biased because you're there to do a job. You're not there to put in like a specific opinion because you feel a certain way.
Nicholas Roberts, thank you, Trial Channel.
I really liked him. He was so likable too on the stand.
Renee Stonebridge is suddenly getting a lot of attention in like the discourse. Like, no, you did not find this teeny tiny little triangle that is less than a centimeter long.
It's so gross because I know where most of those pieces go by now.
Like, if they really did find all these pieces, like, I have a deal for them. I want to say this. Okay, you guys really found all those pieces and you're really honest people and you want to prove it. I'm going to take all those pieces. I'm going to go to a similar sized yard. We don't need to go bother the people at 34 Fairview. We'll go find a muddy field, and I'm just going to scatter them all. And then I would like you to find all of them. And if you can find all of them, then I will really believe that you are that talented and that impressive, and I will shut up forever and ever. But if not, Yuri, Proctor, then I have some questions. Because no, you didn't. You did not find this little tiny crumb.
Well, you know what I can tell you about the top clear piece on the way onto the right, the diffuser piece. That
little
piece,
teeny tiny piece.
So if you're looking at the tail light, right, it's from one of the lower diffusers going this way, and it's a tiny piece right on the edge. And the only reason why I know this piece is because there's a little pry mark underneath it. And right on top of the chrome, you can see where they dug into the chrome and then underneath that piece, and then it flicked out. But the rest of the chrome, but the rest of the diffuser is there. So it's like, I think they tried to dig it out and only that one little portion popped out and they just said, fuck it.
And like the funniest part about that is that they actually could have said, fuck it. And they could have not included that teeny tiny crumb in evidence. And that would have made more sense for us to be like, oh yeah, there's like a little tiny crumb missing. Like, well, that makes sense. Like it shattered. Like there's probably some crumbs missing, but they didn't understand that. I just want to show people why this is, just in case you're like, no, like I'd be able to see that. Like, this is what we're working with in terms of like terrain. Like, first of all, melting snow and ice looks like glass. So yes, there was still like a little bit of snow and ice that was melting. Like, you sifted through all of that. No, you didn't. You
I
just,
will.
there's a piece of glass right here. Can't you tell? Can't you see it right there? Obviously with your eyeballs.
I just honestly will never forget seeing the what's his name? The Berkowitz piece for the very first time. And I remember being by myself looking at it and I go, that motherfucker, it's right over a shoe print.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is a joke. This
And
has
they
to be
didn't
a joke.
even, no, it's like, this is why I don't, when people are like, oh, their feelings, like, they had no regard for my feelings when they like tortured me with this conundrum for years.
I'm sorry,
So-
but if you are going to care about a racist prick's feelings, you might be right along with them. I don't feel bad for Proctor. Not one bit. Not one bit.
Exactly. J Balla 5454 said, I thought you guys, so sorry you're not one of us, but like, you're welcome here. So you can be one of us guys for now. I thought you guys always maintained that polycarbonate cannot shatter. Yeah, I thought that. I stood corrected when I saw ARCA's reconstruction of the way that taillight could shatter. I didn't know. And then I watched and I learned, and now I changed my opinion or understanding of the way that polycarbonate functions. So yes, at one point in my life, I didn't think it could shatter, and now I learned that it can.
It's made in a certain way with a certain material so that when a vehicle hits a pedestrian or gets into an accident, that material is not going to break like glass. That is the difference. If you understand the difference between polycarbonate, acrylic, whatever you want to call it, versus glass, there's a big difference. It's basically to prevent extra injury that may occur, say if there is a pedestrian or another vehicle involved. In case you want to go over some safety
would that
features.
be? Like, if we all had glass taillights that like really shattered like that, we would be at the dealership like every 3 days. I break glass, like I break a glass every time I unload the dishwasher.
But also too, think about like, why do you think they have seatbelts? Why do you think they don't have rear facing the back benches? Remember in the old station wagons? Why do you think they don't have those anymore? Because they're dangerous.
Because like I got car sick every time I was back there. Thank goodness they don't have that anymore. They'd be like, Emily, go in the way back. And I'm like, okay, but like if I throw up, that's on you.
It was always a little fun back there though. Okay,
It was so fun.
That is the cocktail glass. Yeah.
Yeah. And then wait.
The good old ashtrays.
How much hold on.
Wow.
How much more of the cocktail glass this isn't the bottom.
No. So there was at least, if I had put a guesstimate, at least like 45% of the glass that they never recovered.
But there was more of the glass than what they just held up. They didn't like reassemble that the way they reassembled the taillight back.
No, they did.
Like,
no, they did.
But what Gallagher held up was the same thing they found.
Yeah, so that was what he found. But then in the lab, was it Christina Hanley? Chat will know. Because there is a picture from the lab. Huh?
Was it Ash Valier?
I don't know. I know one of them because I literally just looked at the picture the other day in the crime lab of it propped up. Because I was trying to figure out, I was like, well, if I'm questioning the straw, let me go relook at the glass again. I'm like, is this a highball glass or is this like a classic like rocks glass? But it does look more like a highball glass.
Did they have pieces? So like when they reassembled it, were there pieces from the lip of the glass?
Yes.
Interesting. I don't think I knew that.
It's only because I just looked at it. That's how I know. Because I was like, let me question this. Because I was like, I'm questioning.
That seems like something they DNA tested.
They never put in DNA testing for the straw. I wonder why Proctor didn't put that in for testing.
Yeah, but also if that was a glass from a house, maybe that like I don't know. I can't. My brain. I can't do this right now. Like, can't go down that rabbit hole. Okay. This
Sorry.
is what I wanted to get to. This man who looks like Alan Jackson a little bit.
Oh, are you sure that's not?
Is it Alan Jackson?
No, hold on. Zoom in closer. No, that has to be AJ. He's got a tan.
It is.
He's got a tanning.
it is AJ.
Listen,
Yes.
That's tan.
That is AJ.
And good hair.
Yeah.
That is AJ.
That's AJ saying, "Are you freaking kidding me?" Okay, wait, hold on. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
that's
saying,
AJ.
"You've got
Look at
to be
his
kidding
face.
me."
Look at his
Okay,
face.
then who's this? Like, who's everybody else? Who's this?
I have no idea.
Well, that was nice they included AJ in Show and Tell Day.
Yeah, but they had a fight for that.
Of course they did.
They had a fight for everything. You go back and rewatch those pre-trial hearings, trial 1. What a freaking mess.
Trial Channel knows everything. That's the guy
Oh.
from the hospital.
Not Wallace. It begins with a W, I think. Because everyone was like, that's Proctor, but it was like another bald guy.
Oh, Watson?
Watson.
No, that's he does exist. I was convinced he didn't really exist.
No, he does. His name is on stuff
You're
too.
so right. And the way he's holding the camera too. Damn, that is Watson. From the
It's nice.
autopsy.
But isn't it nice to put a face to the name now? At least now we know.
That's not Lally.
That's not Lolly.
You guys.
Lolly.
Also, I don't know if you know this about me. I'm like literally I like don't have facial recognition software in my brain. So if you tell me that's Lally, I will like reprogram it and be like, okay, I guess that's Lally, and I will forget what he looks like.
Your brain
That's
just
totally AJ now that I'm looking at his like mannerisms.
Yes. He always
Lally's
has a
never-
tan. Okay, that's
Yeah.
AJ always has a tan from being in California on vacation. So that's how you know. And good hair, like I said.
Yep. Yeah. AJ's not from Norfolk County, and it's obvious.
That yellow stuff is vomit, by the way.
So that's what I was wondering. I went back the other day because they never actually tested anything to like confirm that it was vomit. They just went on like Yuri's testimony that it like looked and smelled like vomit, which like I'll believe you. I'm grossed out by barf, so we don't have to do anything more with it. But it is a little bit like what if it was someone else's? Like it's just like we just went on like Yuri said it smelled like barf, so it was.
There's a very distinct scent between soaked blood and soaked vomit.
Yeah. You guys, look at what the taillight did. Look at that. That big piece of taillight did that.
Just get me back on the Alessi of it all. Just love it.
What could be more egregious?
More egregious.
Like, okay, wait. Hold on. I'm pulling something up. Bear with me. Okay.
Chat is funny.
Like, explain to me how. Okay. If we're going to say that those little tiny holes came from the taillight, then they must have come from this teeny little piece, right? Because that's the only one that's big enough to do that. So the argument then would be like that teeny little piece caused those teeny little holes, and the teeny little piece got in and scraped up John's arm all over the place. Is that the argument? Like, is there any other?
The pattern of how he would have been supposedly hit also doesn't match the pattern on his arm. It doesn't make sense, but people don't want to actually educate themselves on those type of things. That's the problem. They rather think because they hate someone that someone did something instead of thinking that something else happened.
Like, you just can't. Everything else, I feel like, fine, I'll like go with you on they lied to us about the key cycles, so it makes sense why you're confused about the key cycles. I'm not going to fault you dum-dums for that. There's nothing else that makes sense about those teeny little puncture holes. You cannot explain to me a world where those teeny tiny puncture holes led to a massive cut on your arm from a taillight.
Right. Right. I mean, some of the arm ones are just so obvious because if you've ever been bitten by a dog, if you've been around dogs that fight, like you just know. You just know.
Not the Twitter.
Yeah, well, even Twitter's what do they do? Like the checking on the Twitter if they're like
You're right.
Excuse
I'm not a
me?
forensics.
Hold on. Hold on.
It's true. I'm not you
hold
guys.
on. Hold on. First of all, when did we ever claim that? Second of all, the fucking 5 skins are too. Go fuck off. Seriously, sit on it and rotate. No, truly. Like, excuse me? Who said we were? But thank you for thinking that we think we are. At least you think we have egos of some sort. Damn.
Yes.
Damn.
Thank you. Because I was going to say, like, I'll go to medical school. So I'm glad you were here to say that.
Wait. Pull up Sarah. Pull up we'll talk about it later, Sarah.
I'm so proud of you that you don't know the answer to that.
It's okay.
Because no, you're not. You're sweet little soul. I'm so glad that you don't know what that is. These are look, chain of custody. Let's see. Look at that chain.
Wait, that's
chain of custody.
2/1/23.
12/1/23.
Oh, 12
so December 1st. What did they?
That's even worse.
Item collected from 7/18. Nothing else is filled out. They have the case number, the description. So this is when they got it back from the crime lab. We don't know if it's for analysis, trial, or safekeeping. We don't know where, who. Look at that chain.
I can't.
But yes, I don't think it takes a forensic scientist, back to the original point, to see that I have lived in the world and I understand how the world works. And this little tiny piece could make that little tiny hole, but it couldn't make that big cut. And this big piece probably could make one of those big cuts, but it couldn't make that teeny tiny hole.
I can't.
I mean, I guess maybe it could. That little point right at the end, right there, that could have punctured John's sleeve, stayed there, and went all while he was standing there, and it was shattering and it was spinning. No.
Can you do
it? I mean, that would cause one of those cuts. So then there was like a bunch of them. It was like in like Cinderella when like the birds fly and like and make her dress and stuff. It was like the taillight just stayed there.
But truly, if you don't think that's what it is, then go and be part of the dog trainings and actually put yourself as to be like a suspect. And you put yourself in that situation and see what your arm looks like afterwards.
I will say, I'm not even going to like answer this. You guys are clearly in a conversation over there, but I appreciate, Jay Balla, that you're asking questions. Keep asking questions. I love a good question. Ask as many questions as you want to. Don't let anybody stop you.
I would say if you really want to care about Chloe or talk about Chloe, if you don't think that's what happened, go talk to some of the neighbors. Like I have. Go talk to some of the neighbors. See what they say about Chloe.
Like that guy on the news where the reporter was clearly trying to get him to say that like, oh, we have like wolves and coyotes in this neighborhood. Do you know what interview I'm talking about? Where they're like, have you seen any like large aggressive animals in the area? And the neighbor was like, yes, Chloe.
Yes. Isn't he the one that had the one eyeglass, right? You only had one lens in the eyeglass.
Yes. But like literally the guy was trying to be like, oh, like could this have been like a coyote that did that to him? And he was like, Chloe was crazy.
Chloe was known as the bad dog in the neighborhood.
There are no
And
bad
like I
dogs, but
said,
there are bad owners.
that's what I mean. There are no bad dogs. There are bad owners. You can have a reactive dog and actually learn how to keep said dog for its entire life. You don't
I have
control
one
it,
of
and that
them.
dog. I do too. I do too. You have to change your life around. You'll figure it out,
He loves
and everything's fine.
Teddy loves people. He's just not great with other dogs. So we don't go to dog parks because it would be a massacre.
Dog parks are overrated, anyways.
There are the shoes, you guys.
Oh God, not the shoes again.
You're never late. The party starts when you walk in. Thank you
Yeah,
for being
yeah.
here.
I was already late, and then I had a whole shish kebab. So you're in good company.
Then I had a whole shish kebab. There are those shoes. I can't even. I'm not going to do the shoes right now. They're the boxers. His clothes, like really, it like does it. There's something like really kind of emotional about like looking at them.
Oh,
like things like this.
Interesting. We never got to see that.
Mm-hmm.
So
And I feel like those are the things that are like, oh, you were just like living your life. You didn't deserve this at all.
No. He maybe I'll get my question answered in a second. He would keep his wallet and his cell phone in the same back pocket, which was the same jean pocket that was ripped. And I was always curious about what happened to his wallet, but I do know his family got it at some point.
Okay, that's good.
That's the
last
piece
picture.
of glass.
So that's the one that I like have a image of them holding up in the trial, but what there was more that they reassembled.
Yeah, it was in an earlier picture, and then they put it together on that piece right there. But I think it was only like one. I think it was only one image, one or two images, and I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was seen in trial too. I think it was only trial one.
So that's show and tell. I closed all the windows that I needed because I can't handle clutter. They also have like a show and tell day of her car. If you want to just see what they did to it when they're like, oh, here, you can have your car back. Have fun.
Oh, this is when she got it back?
No, I mean, this is their foot, but they didn't like put it back together for her. So this was
the
state of
and the rat and animal mess that was all in it. Like it was disgusting. Like I honestly, I truly would not surprise me if they also like did their own business on it too, to be completely honest. Like
100%. Yeah, but so when they're like, oh, hey, you were not guilty of this crime that we framed you for, here's your car back. Hope you like it. Oh my God, no, I'm not doing this right now.
No, we're not.
They did not put out two left shoes. They would not have put out two left shoes. Even if that, no, they're not, they're stupid, but they're not that stupid.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I can't do so there's all the chips that the things they destroyed.
Yeah, that's her infotainment system. I was actually behind in traffic, a newer version of this SUV, and I was like, you don't put into perspective how large this SUV is until you're there. And it's like, they really think they really think you could be hit with the vehicle at that speed with that force and only get that because they label it as a clipping. But even then, the hand still gets a direct hit. Like it doesn't make sense. This is the whole chip off process that we heard about.
This is when what was his face? That first guy.
Gorino?
No, the first person who testified in the retrial who like watched Burgess do the chip off, and you know his name. Oh my gosh, I know his name.
I do.
Not Shannon Burgess. Our guy on our side, and he had the cute little face.
I mean, no, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of Karen's like experts and whatnot were very good looking. Were you talking about Arca?
Yeah. No, the first guy who he supervised Burgess like doing the chip off, and then Hank was like you didn't notice that he figured out like that actually it was like this and that. No, not green, not wolf. Just Sorga.
Well, no. So it was actually a woman who watched them do the chip off. It was actually Karen's expert who did the chip off because it was going to destroy it. So Reed's team was like, okay, can our girl do it? And then they blamed her for like it not being done properly, whatever. And then
they were like, it was a girl.
Right. And then they also blamed her for not getting the extra SD card or something out of it. They were like, well, she totally forgot to get this on top of it. It's like,
so that was the thing that when Hank was asking DeSorga, like, well, you didn't find blah, blah, blah. And DeSorga was like, yeah, but like, Shannon Burgess kind of found it by accident. So I don't know if that really counts.
Right.
So there's the chip. There's the chip of it all. That this is what they were going for.
I forget her name too, because I had looked up all the experts for trial two, because she was still on there for trial two. But yeah, I remember like them being like, well, she's the one that messed it up. Like, we agreed for you to bring in your own expert and she still did it wrong. And it's like, okay, my guys.
So that was that. Also, Jay Balla, you can ask questions, but then you also have to listen to the answers. And if people are giving you smart answers, then I'm so sorry. But in this school, we listen to smart answers. And if you don't understand, maybe you need to go take a break at the library or on somewhere else and do some research. Okay, where should we go next on our tour? Do you want me to pull up okay, tell us about, hold on, actually.
She's like,
do you want to tell? I just got really excited. Do you want to tell us about the key swipes?
Oh man. Oh, I have just the tip of the iceberg on those damn key swipes. Oh my God.
Tell us, I'm not even going to pull it up yet because it's like a lot to look at, but tell us like, what were you looking for? How were you looking for it?
So the very first thing I did was pull up Brian Higgins, the certain clips that they sent to Karen's team. I looked at those first, and then I also pulled up the microdots video that was done on that to help me understand a little bit more. And then I was like, okay, now I need to get the layout of Canton PD, which microdots did put in that video. Maggie Gaffney, thank you, Timothy, for the win. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, and then they completely crapped on her. And I was like, Gorina would have done it anyways with the chip off. It was going to break. It was going to break no matter what because of the heat that they had to use. Anyways, I digress. So yeah, I got the Higgins videos from Canton PD, and then I looked at microdots, and then I got the layout. The only thing that microdots got wrong was that in the actual layout, there's a side of it that he thought was the second floor, but it's actually the basement. So we don't know what the second floor layout is. We can take a good guess. We only have the first floor and then the basement, but the basement doesn't matter because it's like plumbing and stuff. It's an old schoolhouse. It doesn't matter. Okay.
I just wanted to put this up for a second before, and then I want to hear your process, but just so people know, this is the document that when Higgins was reading the like booking to Sallyport, Sallyport to booking to Sallyport, Sallyport to booking, like that's what this document is. So it's like each person who swipes their card has their unique like code and tells the time and the date.
The way that I was able to break this down, because everyone immediately went to Kelly Dever and Brian Higgins. And I was like, okay, but here's the problem. Not every single one of those doors you need a key swipe for. But what's good, even the ones that have key swipes, you don't need it for both directions, which most people will be like, well, damn, then how are we going to know what the hell they're doing? Because it's still, there's a sensor on it. So then you'll still have them going the other way. So I'm seeing some people that are like, well, this person just kind of disappeared. I'm like, no, they didn't. If they had to scan to go up the stairwell 2, so it says like stair 2 entrance, then they have to scan on floor 2 to like, I think it's corridor 227, which is funny because it always goes back to 227 in this damn case.
I feel like if it was if they're in corridor 227, it's like a clue. Like, well, okay, we're on the right track.
Right. And then also the fact that Jen, wasn't her like one of the transcripts, 227 pages or something like that? Like, so you can track a lot of where the person goes. The issue obviously is like, say the morning of the 29th when everyone's in the building, it's all over the place. So you can have 2 people going through the same like key swipe, right? But the good thing is when Higgins is there, it's only him and Goody in the building, and Goody doesn't leave the comm center, which is also the dispatch room. So we know all of the movement that's going through at that like 10-minute, 15-minute interval. We know it's Higgins. So we know the exact route that he went, which is great. Now, the only thing that's with this, you can see all these extra doodads in it, right? Because it'll be like DOTL and then this alert and then that alert that don't have anything else to them. That's basically just the system doing what it's supposed to do. So if you like zoom in,
it goes backwards. Okay, that was just. I just felt like Jen when she's like, "There's times and numbers everywhere." So
it's all over the place.
Okay. So this is all Higgins.
On Twitter, 3 Clerk Monty did a great spreadsheet that you're able to like type in and like kind of like break it down. So they only included the key swipes and then the phone calls between like Brian Albert, Brian Higgins, and Chief Berkowitz, which is great because that does help break it down. It makes it easier for like the layman to kind of understand what's going on with these key swipes. So it's funny when you compare, like, say what happened with Brian Higgins at, you know, whatever time was it, like 1:30 in the morning, compared to what happens in the morning. It is I've been saying this from the get-go, a shit show at that morning. There is swipe, like swipe or no swiping. So we're talking about Dora the Explorer.
Swipe or no swiping.
But yeah, it's all over the place, and it just felt like it was a bunch of cops, like chickens running around.
Sorry,
with their heads.
I can't get that because why? Excuse me.
Oh, it happens. I block
Rude.
everyone. I can't say anything. There's probably people in chat right now. They're like, "Yeah, you blocked me." I'm kind of known for blocking people.
No,
sorry.
Here. Is this it?
Yes. And it's great because it cuts down a lot of the junk that like most people don't care about. You know, it just has the swipes, which is great, which we all need to figure out.
This is a funny comment because this was Lally's time of the crime. So yes. Oh, how times have changed.
Yes. Yeah, do you remember that? I remember trial 1 and us being like, the time changed like mid-trial, just like it did trial 2. Judd Welcher's like, let me do a presentation change.
Yeah. Oh, here's per your request. Here's my updated report.
See,
unblock her. She's a good one. She's a good one. She's featured on the community sleuthing page of the FOIA and find out.
I like that.
It's a good one.
I like that.
You can unblock her. I'll vouch for you.
Okay. But yeah, so like
Tim the Toolman Taylor was there.
Can you zoom in? I'm a little blind.
I actually can't.
Oh, that's okay.
It like doesn't. Oh, actually, now it didn't get weird. Usually it does.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, so you can see all of the officers that were kind of in the building at that time. Now, just because they're in the building doesn't mean they're doing anything wrong. I noticed a pattern. So let me see so second floor corridor 227. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's upstairs. So that's when you can tell Brian Higgins is upstairs.
Okay.
So if we go, Paul Gallagher.
What's
After
this? This isn't at CPD.
No, yes. Remember how I told you how they added in three clerk Monty
Okay.
added in the phone calls too, just so you
Gotcha,
guys
gotcha.
can see. Yeah. So you can tell Brian Albert calls in whatever the butt dial of it all. If you scroll down just a hair so we can get to when Gallagher gets back. That was around 8:00 in the morning. Tim Taylor. Gallagher, there he is. Okay. So he first, when he enters, first floor corridor 1062 administration. Because now I know the layout mainly of the first floor, he obviously does not have any key card swipes to enter the building. And we all know that every single exterior door is going to have a key swipe on a police department, except the front lobby, right? Because if people need to walk in, the public needs to walk in, they don't swipe. So that meant Paul Gallagher likely parked in those front couple of spots within Canton PD. If you're familiar with the building, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And then he walked into the lobby. There's a stairway on the right side. The only reason why I know this is because when I've been out and about around there, I know that the public restrooms are actually up that same stairway. And it was a huge thing in Canton, especially for the standouts, because they had blocked off access to the public bathroom for a while there because they didn't want any of the, isn't that crap? I was like, it's a public building and they're blocking the public from the public bathrooms.
Also,
It's not an officer toilet.
They'd want. I feel like they were like kind of nosy enough about everybody who was doing standouts and stuff that I feel like they would have wanted you guys coming in so that they could like have it on video and they could like zoom in on your phone and see if you were like calling Turtle Boy or like.
No, you need to remember this was pre-interim police chief Joe Perkins. This was Helena Rafferty. She wanted nothing to do with any of us. Nothing.
No tampering.
So, well,
LOL.
I mean, that just made us be more louder and poke a little bit more. But so I noticed a chunk of these officers throughout the morning and then the early afternoon. They're going in and out of this first floor corridor 106 to administration. So like I said, they're going up to this other side, up where the public bathrooms are, and then into a locked room. And if you look at the layout of Canton PD, there's a couple of like bigger, like I said, used to be a schoolhouse or something like that. So it's like rather large rooms. And so what I'm gathering is that that's where they had their hub. So for like the temporary hub for Mass State Police, so like Tully, Buchanan, and Proctor. Because if you remember, when Proctor and Buchanan left to go interview the McCabe's and then to the hospital and then to Dighton, Tully was there. Tully went to Canton PD sometime in the mid-morning-ish time as well. He's not going to hang out in dispatch. They're going to set up in their own room. So if you go and you scroll,
and he walked in all like trying to be all jacked to be like, oh, we're gonna need a hub to set up in immediately.
Exactly. And then you can tell too, because someone like Ken Berkowitz is gonna be out there talking to them, greet them, just like when you see the Sally Port and Karen's SUV gets pulled in, you see Ken Berkowitz shaking Buchanan and Proctor's hand because it's Ken. It's Berkowitz. He loves this shit. It's like I said, it's his time to shine. He loves this. But you can see Tim Taylor.
It was like his Make-A-Wish.
It was his Make-A-Wish. So there's this flurry of them, all the Canton PD going in and out, and it's like, once you know John is gone, you're recused. You shouldn't be going in and out of this room. But they were. And I don't know why, for the life of me, can't understand why Tim Taylor is the most active out of all of them. It's random. I was not expecting to see Tim Taylor that active. Ken Berkowitz makes sense. Gallagher makes sense. Lank, Goody, it didn't make sense for Tim Taylor because I feel like no one really knows about him unless you know about the dog accident. That's the only way people know about Tim, or if you're local.
What's the dog what's that?
Oh, you didn't hear about that?
I don't think so. Do I? No.
Oh.
Do I know this?
So we are very well aware that Canton PD kind of like would do his own, like they will all get away with things and take advantage of their positions. So what Tim Taylor was doing is he was bringing his dog with him to the police department, clocking in, and then he would leave and bring his dog to doggy
I
daycare.
do know this. No, I do know this. No, I do know this. Okay. All done. No, I know.
Now chat's gonna be like, you better finish your story.
Okay, we'll tell it. But you guys, it's a trigger warning for a really sad ending.
Yeah, it made me not so happy. He forgot about the dog one time and the dog passed in his vehicle, and then they tried to sweep it underneath the rug, and they brought the pet to, I think it was the DPW, I think, put him in a freezer there till they figured out what to do with the dog to get the dog cremated, and then they also paid with taxpayer dollars to get his vehicle professionally cleaned, and they tried to sweep this underneath the rug. And of course, all of this came out like I think 3 weeks before the audit was to be finalized. So magically this ended up in the audit. And it's like, oh, because it's making headlines right now. That's why when I try to tell everyone the Canton police audit was for PR. It wasn't legitimate.
Mhm.
They had all the big cases that they checked off the box that they need to be like, they may have messed up for this, but they're great. It's gonna be fixed.
The leaf blower was the smartest idea we've ever heard of. We're going to teach other departments across the country right now that they should use leaf blowers at every scene.
Yeah, no.
Get Grant Smith Ellis going on 5 Stones, the company that
oh my
did the
god.
audit.
Well, I mean, one of them, when there was a certain interview going on, made it very clear how they felt about Karen Reed and the opinion of the case. And that's when this person knew right away that it was a bunch of bullshit, this audit. So that's all we'll say about that.
Also in the audit, when they were like, it's just like, they interviewed each officer and they were like, it's just really hard for us right now because people used to like really like us, and then they found out what we're doing, and now they don't like us as much anymore, and it's just like I'm just like having a really hard time right now.
If they had listened or spoken to like other individuals in the town other than their family and friends, they would realize that they have had a shit reputation for many, many years. Like, I can't even mention the name Officer Wade without people having visceral reactions. Like, he was briefly mentioned in one of my Kevin Albert videos with the John O'Keefe stuff, and I got 5 comments of people like, visceral. You guys all know Colleen O'Neill. That's all you need to know.
How did Kevin Albert avoid ever having to be a witness? Like, we're pulling in like Brian Albert Jr., but not Kevin Albert as a witness. Why?
It's protected. Think they never pulled in Kelleher either, and they should have. He lived right across the street.
Yeah.
Instead, he
just has an hollow camera that points at the ground.
Yeah, and then Gallagher's like, I have the same system, and then like 20 minutes later, Gallagher's like, well, I actually don't.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay, here's what I need to do. I need to be quiet for a second because Carter just woke up, so I'm going to do a fervent break right now so that I'm not talking, and hopefully he'll fall back to sleep, and then we'll jump back into you explaining to us where everybody went and what was going on. Okay? It'll be really quiet for a second. I'll see you guys after. We'll do a couple of fervent songs. Oops, my husband's gonna get mad. I'm in trouble. Carter's in trouble. Everybody's in trouble right now. Okay.
I'm not.
Class, today we're gonna learn how to do accident reconstruction. Does that sound fun? Well, listen up, cause here's how it's done. First thing to do is cosplay as the victim. You gotta buy his sweater,
life of a proctor defender. Send some text that might offend you. Lose your gun while you're out on a bender. That's the life of a proctor defender. That's the life of a proctor defender. That's the life of a proctor defender. I don't even know why this is in the news. All of y'all are acting like prudes. Who doesn't like looking at nudes and sharing those nudes with the whole damn crew? Don't come at me with quid pro quo. I love that man, no homo. Not one text that he planted evidence. That means that it is so evident there's no corruption, so what's the relevance? The feds found nothing except for these messages. They say there was a conflict of interest, but really we all had a common interest. Frame Karen Reed and we're in the clear. Then work with Kev on a cold case of beer. The life of a proctor defender. Send some text that might offend you. Lose your gun while you're out on a bender. That's the life of a proctor defender. That's the life of a proctor defender. That's the life of a proctor defender. Please judge, don't let these texts out. He's been through enough and he's really stressed out. He's got Kerry Roberts backing him up, got Matt McKay backing him up, the district attorney backing him up, and Yuri, yeah, he gave a thumbs up. How about the Emmy? Not so much. How about all the laws of physics? Not so much. How about Michael Easter? Not so much. How about common sense? Definitely not. The silent majority aren't on Twitter. For my man Chip, my hands on the trigger. Today in Canton, it's time to kill some.
No, sorry, Proctor, I can't say that.
The life of a proctor defender. Send some text that might offend you. Lose your gun while you're out on a bender. That's the life of a proctor defender. Here, Bear, take the mic. Tell him how you feel. Bitch, get out of line. I call her a whack job. Then I wonder why I got fired from my last job. All these Twitter trolls say I'm looking like a fat slob. Tell the FKR crew they're gayer than the flash mob. If I go to jail, please pick the right cellmate, cause I probably pissed off every single inmate. They say orange is the new black, and as you know, I don't really like black. I can't help that. They annoy me. The only hood I like is white and pointy. Oh!
Okay, Jesus, Bear, please step away from the mic. White and pointy.
Stop, stop, you're making it worse. It's hard to defend you sometimes. The life of a proctor defender. Listen to Adele while I threaten you. Ain't a bigger banger than someone like you.
Damn, Fervent, you make me wanna pull up, bitch.
Yeah, I run the streets, I mean run to the police. Don't believe me, why don't you come to D&E? Yeah, I'll bring you pizza just the way you like. I want you though, I tend to slip on ice. If you got a problem, say it to my face. We can throw them up and yell bang bang. Ask me about my car, I don't call. Ask me about my text, I don't call. Ask me about Ali, I don't recall. But if you ask me when I left, I damn sure recall. Ask me about my car, I don't recall. Ask me about my text, I don't recall. Ask me about Ali, I don't recall. But if you ask me when I left, I damn sure recall. It was 12:10, yeah, I know that to the dot. Went up to my parents' room, told them I love them a lot. Name on no police reports, how will I get caught? Damn, Steven Scanlon blew up my spot. Never been in a fight, okay, that was a lie. I provided screenshots as my alibi. What is metadata? I don't know. Those screenshots are real, just trust me, bro. Ask me about my cars, I don't recall. Ask me about my text, I don't recall. Ask me about Ali, I don't recall. But if you ask me when I left, I damn sure recall. Ask me about my cars, I don't recall. Ask me about my text, I don't recall. Ask me about Ali, I don't recall. But if you ask me when I left, I damn sure recall.
Fucking please, before I hit the shit, before I run your shit, before I fucking chug a beer and hit that shit.
Okay, I think crisis averted.
I was doing the lean with it, rock with it, lean with it, rock.
Yes. Okay. Teach us.
You know it's a
Ready to
good
go.
song when you start singing in the Bostonian accent because I was like Proctor Defender.
Like Fervent is so good. It
So
like you can make AI songs and just like type in things to like the AI song generator. You can't do that. Like that is talent.
right.
Every single song, every single one. Except I will never listen to I heard the Chloe song one time and never again.
Oh no.
It's sad. It's like
Is
so
it?
sad.
You're like, that's the only one. This is the only one.
Okay, so tell us what happened.
Okay, so if you scroll up just by like 2 lines, we can see.
Oh, and wait, also I just wanted to clarify, I saw Wild Goose asked about the same thing I asked about. Brian Albert isn't swiping. This is a spreadsheet where somebody who blocked me on Twitter added in the calls. So those are the phone calls.
So
are they on our side? Like, are they somebody that we like? It seems like a helpful document.
Yeah, I mean, I think so.
What did I do?
Listen, as someone who blocks everyone willy-nilly, you don't gotta do anything. Don't take it personally. The last thing you can do is take that personally.
Have we met? I take everything personally. I'm gonna stay up. I'm gonna, when we get off at the end of the night, I'm gonna be going through like, have I ever tweeted at them? What did I say?
Sometimes people like cheese pizza and someone likes pepperoni, and the fact that you like cheese pizza more, it could, you know what I mean? Like it happens. It happens.
I think about somebody who honked at me in like 2007. So.
Oh no! Do you overthink of what
we'll survive?
Are you like an overthinker where you think of like something you said in the 1st grade and you need to like talk to that person to be like, I'm so sorry.
And I like play the conversation out in my head where I'm like, if I just had explained this, then they would have understood that I wasn't trying. No, it's too much.
It's too much. You're like, damn, you like wake up from a nightmare.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this with 3 Clark Monty.
Oh god. Okay. So if you look for that that first Sean Good run, that at 7:57:46, Sean Good, he's the first one to come back from the scene, and we know this because he's the first one that swiped his key card because he didn't come in with anyone. So booking to Sallyport, right? Unless there's another one before that, I don't think so. Well, like Ken Berkowitz, that's him coming in for the first time. Sean Clemens. Yeah, no. Yeah, because they were still at the scene. You know what I didn't realize is how long, when I was, just a side note, how long Lank was in 34 Fairview by himself. Like, it was over 20 minutes.
And they were just having, wait, no,
it was Lank.
Wait, I thought Gallagher was there too.
No, it was only Lank.
Gallagher and Brian Albert were like in the doorway.
It was only Lank.
Oh.
That's what the dash cam shows us, because I was looking for every little thing Sean Good was doing, because I was like, he's on his phone a lot, man. There's a lot of things going on with him texting. And of course, the other side would be like, well, maybe he's just, checking in with whatever. Well, he never testified to that. And that's the problem. So I was like, I want to know what Sean Good's doing. And then lo and behold, I'm counting the minutes and I'm like, the fuck is Lank? And he's in there by himself. Gallagher's outside. Like it's wild when you look at the dash cam from all of the angles to see like, oh yeah, they really weren't honest. Or maybe they forgot about what happened.
Wait, so you're saying when Lank, so Jen goes in, then Lank goes in?
That's the first time when Goody and Lank go in.
Okay, so not that time. Then there's an additional, they go out.
Because Lank goes in by himself a second time. And he's in there for like 22-ish minutes all by himself.
Was that before or after that recording where Lank was like saying like, oh, it seems like something. Do you know which recording I'm talking about?
Are you talking about when he's in the back of Saraf's police cruiser?
Yeah, and he calls in, he's like, Do you have, I forget exactly, but he sounded like he was like really kind of like having an existential crisis of like, what am I supposed to do right now?
Well, because you want to know why. He showed up, Goody brought him right over, and then you hear Jen on one of the dash cams being like, "Is that Lank?" And then like runs right on over, and it's like, "Oh, you really were closer than you're actually saying." And then she starts talking up his fucking ear, and then you see Sean Goody manhandle Karen into Kerry's SUV. I'll never forget that because I was like, wow, they really don't know how to deal with trauma response for being officers. They're kind of shitty at trauma response. And then you see Lank go on the phone. We don't know who he's on the phone with. And then right afterwards, he gets on the phone with CPAC and he enters in the police cruiser. And then they get a call because Kerry and Karen then leave. They get a call that Karen is allegedly, wants to take her life. And Goody goes, after Goody was also already on the phone and Goody was texting, then you hear him after Lank goes, well, I just want to let you know it's a Boston cop. I don't know if he's been in a fight. He's got some head trauma. He's like, and again, just so you know, it's a Boston cop. So that's when he's on the phone with CPAC. His door of that cruiser is still open and Goody comes over and is like, hey, we're going to section her so we know where she is. And it's like, you were just on the phone and texting Goody, and now you're going to say, we want to know where she is at all times. And the fact that I put this together, that Goody played it off, that he wasn't familiar with John O'Keefe. And now looking back, when he was involved with that Kevin Albert stuff back in March of 2021, and Kevin Albert literally tells him, oh, John O'Keefe, the Boston Police Department guy, he lives on Meadows off of Pleasant. What does Carrie Roberts say in her non-emergency phone call at like 5 whatever in the morning? The same freaking thing. He works for the Boston Police Department. And then Goody goes, where does he live? And she goes, oh, Meadows off of Pleasant. And Goody repeats it back. Meadows off of Pleasant. You're not gonna tell me something doesn't fucking click? You don't care that there's a cop missing?
I hate any time that I like turn into an apologist for them, because like, you're exactly right. There like is a little part of me that's like, if somebody texted me a year ago and was like, oh, my friend moved into your neighborhood, they live on this street next to you, I don't know that I would remember that like a year later.
But you know why it's worse?
Like, why?
They set up a sting off of Meadows and Pleasant to get this kid that was dealing that very day later in the afternoon. And then there's notes of Goody taking down Karen and John's phone number. And then in September, there's another call where John walks into the station and talks to Goody one-on-one about something else that is going on. This is what I mean. They
so
knew.
It wasn't just, it's not just based on that. Because if it was just based on that one text, I'd be like, okay, I could get behind, like, I don't know him. I would still say I didn't know somebody, even if I had been like told who that person was. But like, if they've interacted, like, yes, you do.
We also need to remember Canton as a community. They're also pretty small, close-knit. Everyone kind of does know everyone, and everyone has an opinion on everyone. But the Thin Blue Line community is even smaller there. Like, everyone knows everyone, even if you don't know of one another because you don't work together. So, i.e., like Higgins and Ken Berkowitz, right, at Canton PD. You're still familiar with the other officers in the town, even if they work for Boston PD. Like, Greg Long lives in Canton too, and he's was an upper at BPD. It's like, they're not obtuse to these kind of things. They're not.
Wait, why can't I find Good's notes? He has notes in here?
No, Canton PD never put in the notes.
Oh, okay. That's what I was wondering. Who did you just say had to note that they took down their phone numbers?
It's in the Kevin Albert and John O'Keefe stuff.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna pull that up while you're explaining it.
Which actually, another sidebar, Mulaney was taking notes at the scene. And we're never gonna see those notes because they said Canton never had notes. But you see Mulaney taking down notes on dash cam.
There's
'Cause he was a
literally an
rookie.
entire document that just says like Canton, no notes.
Yes, yes. And you see it right on dash cam. He was taking notes over and over and over again because he was a rookie. So he was doing everything like by the book, you know? Poor kid.
Wait, so this is what you're talking about. Hold on. Just so that we can back up your receipts.
Kelly Dever did tell the truth. The problem is she got scared shitless when the commissioner pulled her in alone.
Yeah.
So this is paperwork of all the calls on Meadows Ave, and then there's some that are blocked off that the officer was like, maybe this was them. This was maybe that was them. You'll notice that March 31st, 2021 is not on there. And it's not on there because John was texting Kevin Albert directly. So that's just one example of Canton PD taking things into their own hands and not logging it correctly. So like we'll never be able to public records request it because it was all basically done off the books, I guess you could say, in an essence.
Interesting.
Which frankly, like it that only backs up what so many citizens in Canton have said over and over again, that like the cops would just show up and do stuff and there would be no log of it because someone made a personal call or a personal text. So
you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Don't tell anybody about any of it.
Listen, you scratch my back, make me Canton Select Board, I'll give you free pizza for life.
That seems like a fair trade in a world of corruption.
Who knows?
So, okay. So where are we going with this? So we're at
so I need to dig more into this, but so what I was saying is I was looking at all of the activity this morning and who was coming in and out of that first floor corridor 106 to administration, because again, like I said, that's a locked door. It's up and away from really everything because it's technically not the second floor because it's not connected to the second floor, but it does have a stairway to it, if that makes sense. Like it's the Canton PD layout is very
like a little like loft.
Kind of, but it's still blocked off because it has like 3 bathrooms up there. You know, it has the public restroom and then, you know, female, male, regular for the officers. And like, I think there's either 3 or 4 key swiped private rooms too. So it's one of those rooms that they were going in and out of. And from these logs, we can see exactly who is going in and out of them. So we've got like, obviously all of the regular players. We've got Goody, Gallagher, Legg, Barkowitz, Rafferty. And then you see Tim Taylor in there a lot. Charlie Ray, which is random. And he's the one who wanted to become police chief. Thank God, because he was in and out of that friggin' room for some reason he should have not been. There was another name. I was like, what the hell? Why are you going in and out of this room? You shouldn't be. But like, none of the other, like, so Sarif wasn't in and out. Mulaney wasn't there. Dever wasn't there. So they can't say anyone that was correlated to the case because it was like random Joe Schmoes going. I mean, obviously, you know what I mean, though? It wasn't like, there's not a pattern.
There was the same names over and over and the same not names not going in.
And you know what? If you talk to some Cantonites, we'll call them Cantonites, it's a lot of these names that a lot of people have a lot of problems with. And it's like circular of all the same names over and over again.
Well, that's why it's like weird when suddenly you see a new name and you're like, wait, like who is, there was a guy there named Charles Eaton? Like, who's that?
Eaton. I'm like, yeah, you don't know.
No, I don't know. Am I supposed to know who that? Did he kill a dog in his car too?
No, he got the fuck out of Dodge and he started becoming he became a candle maker.
See? I like that guy.
Can
we support his candles?
Emily's face was like, what?
I love that. Are you serious? Like, is he making like those like dipped candles? Or are they the beeswax ones that are wrapped around?
Oh no! One of the news stations did a full ass interview with him about it.
Oh my gosh! Can I pull it up?
Probably, if you look up Charles Eaton Canton PD, it'll come on up because I rewatched it the other day and I was like, oh my god, I forgot.
Oh my god! Can we watch?
I
this?
told you, I wasn't lying.
Wait, he's so cute.
I wasn't lying.
Okay, you guys. We're gonna take a little break from the data.
Wait, look at
This
Chad.
is-
Chad is like
This is
candles.
yoga. I'm just watching a commercial right now so that you don't have to. But once the commercial is done, you'll learn about Charles Eaton's candle business. This is amazing. I love that you know every detail.
Oh, it's so
Oh,
random.
There's two commercials. Now we're at the auto fair. Okay. Now where? Okay. Nope. That's Procter Defender. Again. Okay. Hold on. Also, what was this? Like Chronicle?
I think. Yeah, there was like a whole article on him too.
I wanted to make it so it's not weird. Hold on. Okay.
Mess.
Can you hear that?
It smells amazing in here. Thank you, Doug.
Chip Yaton has found a second act in
Wait, is that the chip from the text messages? Or is
So here's the thing. I was discussing with some people about this. So this is where I'm on the fence with this because I know there's some on the other side that like there's another chip and it's been confirmed. First of all, confirmed by fucking who? You? I don't trust Five Skins. I don't trust Five Skins for shit. But second of all, would it make sense for Kevin Albert, Chip and I got freaking candles in my head now, and Goody in a text chain together? Because yes, they were planning this like sting outside John O'Keefe's house to get this kid who was potentially dealing. Yeah. Does it also make sense for Kevin Albert, who's drinking buddies of Proctor, who's also best friends with Goody, to also be in a group chat together? Yes. So take it with a grain of salt.
Like this guy seems like he was probably researching candlesticks at that time and was not as interested in getting in on sting operations, but that is a happy, like, let's all learn a lesson from this. You can get out and you can be joyful.
I would be happy too being out of that department, not gonna lie.
has found a second act in scented candles. The recently retired Canton police officer always found comfort in a glowing candle around the house. But when he found out that his son was allergic to chemicals used to make the big box store offerings, Chip decided to make his own.
It was very soothing. It was very calming. It was a fun type project.
After encouragement from family and friends, that fun little project soon turned into a candle making business.
Timing is everything. I didn't think it was going to work. You know, it was a huge leap of faith.
ComMen Sense was launched online and soon sparked a devoted following. After retiring from the force, he moved his all-natural, handmade candle-making operation to the Cape and started West Falmouth Village Candles and Primitives on Route 28A.
Every candle has a base to it, a top, middle, and bottom note, and all of them have anywhere between 6 and 10 different ingredients for balance and scent.
As it turns out, every candle also has a certain buyer, and yes, that does include the guys.
There's a lot more than they care to admit it, and then finally they do when they come in here and they see my little say.
He's like, guys, look, I'm still tough. We have mandals here.
I know.
I didn't give up my manhood for this.
The candles for men over here. Candles for men over here. And then finally they do when they come in here and they see my little say, candles for men over here, you know, and they get a little chuckle from my mandals.
For this cop turned candle maker, turns out the Cape is the perfect match for his new career.
And that's what I like about this. We're in an old house in a beautiful historic village, bringing back a very, very old craft.
It is pretty awesome in there, by the way. Chip, not totally retiring from serving the public. He and his dog, Potato, Yes, Potato and Chip are working with local schools to provide comfort during crisis situations. And if you're interested, Chip offers lessons in candle making, history, and proper burning techniques, which there are. We have a link for you with more information on.
Boozey, do you want to go take a class with him? I am dead serious.
I don't know if we'll be allowed.
I have never, and we'll just be like all relaxed, like dipping the thing and be like, so, can you tell us with the layout in the Canton Police Department, it's a little confusing. Who was going in and out of the door that day?
Can
We'll
you
get all the
explain-
details.
I just want to know which exact room was administration. Just which one? You know, right
He'll
next to
tell
the
us. He'll be like
restroom.
in the zone. There's no chemicals. He's just like feeling good. He has all the scents, and he'll just we'll learn everything. Wait, I think this is the answer.
And I mean, I really have to question the entire lot of them for no one having a conscience. You know how your cameras recorded. At minimum, you could have said something about that, and none of you did. So, but yeah, that's Chip Yeaton.
If you're not going to have a conscience, this is the next. If you're not going to like be a whistleblower and tattletale on your friends, this is the next best thing. And I'm going to put a link to ComMen Scents Candle Company. He was really reaching with that. He's like, guys, please don't think I'm a girl. You can call Chip, and there's his phone number if anybody wants. Okay.
Oh, common sense.
He's like, I'm manly, you guys. It's not what you think it is. Like
that took
for
that
real.
took a little, like honestly, that took me a second. I needed to see it typed out for me to actually comprehend what's going on there.
It's not too often you see a boutique candle company owned and operated by a father of 4. Okay.
True. Well, especially
just
an ex-cop. No, especially an ex-cop, because usually they go to like, you know, the private investigator route. So
usually they go and they do what Tully's doing.
They become a Marty Kraft and hire all random ass people so they can creep on people legally. Isn't that fun?
But he's making all natural soy-based candles, all hand poured in small batches. This is adorable. You guys, so but if you're looking for a job, you could join the crew.
No,
oh,
I
no,
don't
that
think
just
that's
means
the job.
get on the email address.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not hiring. It's just him.
Oh.
Maybe he needs to hire somebody to do his website. The right way to burn a candle. Oh, he's serious about this.
Candle people, once you pick up this, oh yeah, no, you gotta. It's like you gotta like trim the quick right down to a quarter or something like that. I don't do that. I just let that shit burn. You know,
Yeah,
if
and
the
then
flames
eventually
get extra high, whatever.
100%. Also, is anybody else picturing Jan from The Office right now?
Don't make fun of me. I've only ever watched one episode of The Office, and I liked it.
I can't make fun of you because it's like the only thing I've ever seen. I've never seen anything else. But
so we
she
can't
makes
talk
candles.
about we can't talk about anything Bravo. Okay, noted.
I don't even know what channel number Bravo is.
Oh.
I've literally never watched. Actually, I've watched one episode of what's it called? What's the one that everybody likes?
Housewives?
No, the other one with the bar.
Vanderpump Rules? Oh,
yes. I watched the first episode of Vanderpump Rules on vacation with my 2 best friends last year. And then they were like, and now when you go home, you need to watch the next season so that we can talk about it. And I was like,
Oh, yeah, no. The first like 6 seasons of Vanderpump is like, it's all drama, but it's great. It's great if you want mindless television. You know, if you don't want to think, put on reality television.
I got too far. Like when you say 6 seasons, it's like, I'm too far out. Like I missed the boat.
Oh no.
I'm trying to find.
I'm about to go like really deep. When Scandal happened, one of my best friends was like, wait, I need to know what's going on. Who cheated on who? I was like, you gotta watch all 10 seasons. And she did.
That's commitment. I watched a bunch of TikToks and then I learned what was happening.
Yes.
And I was
you could do
also at the, I'm just gonna so in my friend group at the same time, there was literally that exact same situation happening in our like friend group.
Really?
Yes. And it was like so we were like having like real life drama, and then they kept being like, and it was like with Scandival and blah, blah. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. So can you just bring it back to actually what was happening with like so and so and so and so? Yeah, it was crazy. Crazy time.
Well, they're having something similar happen right now on another show on Bravo called Summer House. So
I saw that on TikTok too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, messy people.
Okay, so we're going into this creepy room. This is the room that, like, if people want to dig into this later, like, that's the room they're looking for, right?
Yeah, because if you guys look at this yourselves, you will see, you go, what the hell is up with that room? And you know they were doing something there, because all of a sudden the activity just drops and there's nothing. It's not like consistently there are officers in there day in and day out. The nighttime makes sense. There's less people in the department. Cool, makes sense. But like consistently, you see it over and over and over again. It's like they are in that room as much as they're using like the front Sallyport exit or entrance, because there's two. There's the front one, and then there's the one we know where Brian Higgins entered in, which, another sidebar, the fact that he walked all the way around the building instead of just going to the closest entrance, it makes me question why he did that. It makes no sense.
I feel like I can answer that for you.
Why?
You've seen the way, because their cameras are not very good, and he's not going to put his faith in this one camera that he's going to pass by on the way into this one entrance. What if it didn't motion detector turn on and it didn't record, or it was grainy? He wanted to get on every single camera possible, because we see that in his route. He's like on this camera, that camera, this camera, that camera, because that was his like alibi.
Yeah, but Emily, there's two cameras on the front exit of the Sallyport.
Yeah, but you're just going to put your faith in two of those cameras. You needed to get on all of them. There was a very good chance none of them could. They recorded like a potato. Like,
but no, that's what they want. That's what they want you to think. I'm telling you, they didn't.
But even like they want that footage of Higgins, right? So it's like,
I mean, they didn't show all of it. They gave the defense. They gave the defense very selective clips. There are things that they did not show, like the second floor, for instance, or the dispatch room. There's a dispatch camera. There is, and would have caught them. Whatever Goody and Higgins were doing, it would have caught them.
Oh, we know that because when Dever said. And then she sat there for 18 seconds and stared back and forth at Bev and rolled her eyes, and then finally said, there were cameras in dispatch.
Oh,
of course there were.
And like very obvious. Like there's a good picture of Berkowitz with his arm in a sling, and he's got his feet up on the desk, and you see all of just the computers, which is not the cameras. But if you're like post up like this and you're looking up like this, there's 3 television screens that have all of the monitors of all of the camera angles, and they continuously record. They're not motion activated. Why would a police? Of course not, because think about it.
Well, and even if they are motion activated, if somebody is there, that's motion. They're not. It's not a statue didn't just come into a room, like a person did, and they're moving.
But they're not. There's no police station that's going to have cameras that's motion activated. That was a lie.
We've determined that was a lie. What is also very interesting about, and I'm sure that this is something that you've noticed, is like these people are moving around a lot. Like I haven't seen our boy Chip's name again yet. He just went in. He came in this morning. And he went in a door and then he stayed there. He was just like doing his thing. Look,
he clocked in. He clocked in
to Sallyport. He went through the little hallway.
Right.
And then he's just at work. He's just normal at work.
Right.
His name has not come up again.
Now don't pull it. don't pull up the other stuff because it's way too many verbiage and confusing. This is a lot easier to follow. But like if you had the other one pulled up, you could see the opposite effect in the doors that he leaves in, but you don't have to swipe because you're leaving. So like,
So,
but do you see what I mean?
So that's why.
Look
that
at
makes,
all of
yeah.
this. Look at all of the first floor quarter 106. Like you have Helena Rafferty, and then 1 minute later you got Goody going in. It's like they were in. Why is Charlie Ray going in? You nosy bugger. What are you doing? You don't belong
And so
there.
at that point, what do they have in there? They have the broken glass. What did they brought back the six solo cups though were in the Sally port.
No. Gallagher said he put that immediately into temp evidence, and look what you don't have right away is him going to temp evidence.
Knowing them, they're like, oh no, that's the one door that you don't have to swipe into. It's open to the general public.
Oh no!
No, of course
oh,
not.
No.
Like,
you either have to do the front Sally port, the rear Sally port, and then that opens up to the secure. I fucking hate that I know all this stuff now. That leads to the secure corridor, and then the secure corridor goes into the temp evidence, and then only two people. I hate that I know this. Two people can get into the permanent evidence room. So he should have gone into the temp evidence, and he didn't until like 11:30.
But wait, didn't they say about that room that there were only like 3 people that could actually swipe into that room, or was that at Norfolk County's?
So there's a temp evidence room that I'm pretty sure anyone can go in, and then there's another key swipe into the further behind that room is the permanent evidence, and then only 2 people at that point could get into the permanent. But the temp evidence, Mike Lang was able to get in there too, because that's on this list.
Interesting. Also, people had a lot of questions about Devers key swipes, like when we were originally wanting this. I felt like, and correct me if I'm wrong, that Devers key swipes lined up with her story, as in like the FBI story, and people were pulling up her swipes from like whatever it was, like 11 p.m. or like midnight that night. And to me, that was where she was supposed to be there again. Like she did it in overtime. She stayed, she did leave or whatever at 3:45. And then she came back that night at midnight for her regularly scheduled shift from midnight to whatever, 7 a.m.
Right. And that's why I've always said she probably didn't see Berkey and Higgins at 3 p.m., but she would see them at midnight.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? We don't have the key swipes for January 30th.
Of course not. Can we get them?
They were only allowed for the 29th.
Can we ask for them?
We can try, but they may say that is a security issue, which is something they typically do with like the camera footage too.
They said that about the Sally ports too. They were like, no, we can't. Then you'll know where the cameras are. And it's like, I can just type in on WCVB and see what?
It's a public building. And if I want to go take a fucking walk around the building and get all the cameras, we can. And FYI, people already have, so we know where the cameras are.
Right.
I don't want to know anything about your building other than January 29th, 30th, and whenever Karen reads SUV. I don't care what you guys do in there right now. Truly get out.
Maybe once we deal with this shit show, then we can deal with that. Is this when she called Lank? I thought she called Lank's cell phone. What is this?
I think she called Lank's cell phone, and then Lank called, or is that Teddy Lehan? Because she texted Carrie Roberts. Teddy Lehan wants to know about John's niece.
And then this is when they did the welfare check, and then faked that. Yep. Okay. And then faked that nice picture.
Wait, because then Charlie Ray went and did the check on her.
Mm-hmm. And then that's where they Colleen Crawford got to work using some of her new software.
Yeah. Because when was the check on the house? Wasn't that around like 8 a.m.? I can't remember if it was 8 a.m. No, so they returned.
It was later than that.
So then it was around 9. Okay. So then that explains why Charlie Ray went to first floor corridor 106 to admin, because he probably had to talk to Berkowitz or Rafferty.
Like this is probably him leaving for that 902 Sallyport to front exit.
Front exit is literally like obviously the front exit closest to the front lobby.
What is sleep? I haven't slept in years. Trial Channel knows everything. The check was at 8:45, so this is coming back from that. No, but here.
No. He went upstairs.
That's okay. Everybody gets things wrong sometimes. Trial Channel.
But
wrong.
here's the interesting thing. 9/28/34, Brian Higgins, first floor corridor to 106 to admin. He was right in the motherfucking thick of it with all the rest of them. That means
like he didn't even try to like steal somebody else's card that day or something. He was just walking around, swiping, going in with the evidence, hanging out.
This is all based on the data. We don't even need to say anything else. He was there. And that makes it so much worse. If Gallagher and Lank and Goody brought in their evidence to that room, that means Higgins was in the same room with all this evidence. How improper is that? That is so improper.
And then this is when he was calling, like when AJ had that line of questioning being like, and then you were relaying the information back to Brian Albert. And this is like, they didn't even try to hide it because they knew that it wasn't going to come out, because it wouldn't come out if it wasn't for you, like digging through every single one of you guys. Like the regular document doesn't look like this. I need you to know the headache that she probably gave herself, like just going through these, like they didn't want us to have this.
Well, let's ask chat a question. What time did Yuri with the Y, we'll make sure we say Yuri
or not, and sometimes not. Oh, it's like how it's like AEIOU and sometimes Y. He thought he could just sometimes Y his name. He was like YURI and sometimes Y.
No, legit. What time did Yuri, we'll ask chat, what time did Yuri and Michael Proctor arrive to Canton PD? The morning of the 29th.
Is it not 10 a.m.?
We'll see if chat knows. Give it a second. But yeah, so this first thing I saw was Brian Higgins, and I go, why the hell is he in this corridor 106 to administration? I was like, that he should not be. He should not be.
No, he should be in handcuffs there. Where do they hold the people? He should have walked himself right into the little drunk tank that they have there, gotten himself a pair of handcuffs, click-clacked them on, and just waited for his fate. But no. Okay, here's some 10 o'clock, 10:20, 11, 8, not 8:22.
No.
2:27. No, wait, Proctor, hold on. I feel like I know this because Proctor got the call at 6:44, and then it took him to go the 1 mile from his house to CPD till like 10 a.m., right? And then because he hadn't cleaned off his car yet, what time was it?
9:15.
Yeah.
Look at when Higgins first enters. No. Right there. Right there. Right there. Right
there was nothing before this. No, but there's nothing before this one.
I don't think so. So Proctor and Yuri said they arrived at 9:15. Brian Higgins enters at 9:23. And look at where he goes. He enters from the front. He goes through booking. He's in one of the corridors. So he's in ComPed Sallyport. That's an in-between space between one of the corridors and the dispatch room.
Didn't he say like, oh, it's like a breezeway?
Kinda.
Is that the one he called like a breezeway?
A breezeway. But then he goes upstairs to drop something, whatever he grabbed from the night before, the first thing he made sure to do was put that thing back. Then he goes back downstairs. He goes through a waiting room, which also is a key log center thing. And then he goes right upstairs to administration. It's almost like someone told him that Proctor and Buchanan were in the room.
Wait, I just had a question. What did I just want to ask you? My entire brain just shut off. I have no idea what I just.
Okay. But then, so Buchanan called, was it the hospital? I'm pretty sure he called the hospital at around 10:30 to say that they were thinking it was a domestic dispute and that he was hit by a glass or something like that. So this is what they were discussing in front of Higgins in that room. They were looking at probably the bloody cups, John's cell phone, and the glass, and comparing all of this.
And okay, I guess like the thing that I go back and forth on forever on this, that like I don't like, Higgins wouldn't have just been like, let me tell you what happened last night.
No.
So instead, he's just there to be like, so like what do you guys think? Like what do we got on her? Like blah blah. And you guys are cops. Like, I feel like I can tell when somebody's being sketchy, like just watching them on a YouTube show. I'm like, something's off about them today. Like, I'm getting a vibe. Like, none of you detectives like got a vibe that like this guy seemed a little bit too overeager and following you around and asking a lot of questions and calling Brian Albert. Like, no, you were like, oh, he seems curious today. He has a little pep in his step. He must have gone to Dunkin' Donuts with Julie because it's Brian Jr.'s birthday.
Right. And if you have ever, I mean, forget about whatever happened on the 29th, right? Have you ever gone to the point where you are so drunk, you're not sleeping, you forcibly still get your butt up to go to work, and you are just hungover, you have the shakes, you have the worst migraine, you have bags, puffy eyes, all you want to do is sleep. And look at what he's doing. He's in the Sallyport. He goes to 34 Fairview. He takes a shit ton of phone calls. He's in and out of that Canton Police Department all day. All day.
Wait, I want to search how many times. 34 times we see his name. Let's pick another person, even a nefarious person.
Well, the one that's on there the most is Tim Taylor, and I'm like, what the hell is he doing?
I feel like
he must have been the bitch boy. He must have been the bitch boy running around. If Berkey was like, go get me a coffee, Tim Taylor must have been like, okay, I'll go do it. He was like the most. I'm telling you. And then I go back to the dog story, and I'm like, oh, that's probably why he like got off easy with the dog story, and they paid to clean his car because look what everything he's doing.
He gives me the vibe of like somebody being like, hey guys, wait, what are we doing? Wait for me. Don't close that door. Let me in.
I'm like,
also, this account, my favorite thing about like this universe is when people like own their parody accounts. Brian Jr.'s Frozen Donuts said, Julie left me out in the cold and didn't even leave any Joe to keep me warm. Like,
right?
I love it so much. For each one of you that like made a parody account and like fully got into the character of like Lally's pencils. Like when there was Welcher's emotional support laptop, that was like my favorite thing on earth. Anyways.
Yes.
I appreciate that a lot. Too much.
No, it's great. The Canoni, the South Boston Kevin, like they're.
South Boston Kevin, I actually think might be Higgins, but they live in London or somewhere. No, you're just on time. Okay, so now what? Okay, so it was earlier than. So they were coming back from the. Child Channel's the best.
Yeah.
So at this time, whenever we see Charles.
Sallyport to Secure Comm. That's the entrance.
That's them coming back.
That's the rear entrance. Secure Comm is what we see Higgins walking through. inside.
Also, I knew if I said it's okay to be wrong sometimes, she would get the answer.
Yeah, thank you.
That's a little teacher trick right there.
Don't give them the answers, guide them to it.
I don't know. Oh, 2 pillars at the fence with Wilson all day. I do know. That's a Home Improvement reference. I have seen that show.
That went over my head till you had to explain it.
I am really proud of myself right now. I never get those references. Okay, so Charles Ray is back. Who went with him in the fake video?
I don't remember.
Some rando that. Okay.
I should know this, but I don't.
You know what? You know enough. 32. That's a lot too.
Especially when you get the later on stuff, like not Eric Wade.
10.
Not Eric.
He's there 10 times. He's just being a normal guy.
I'm not kidding. When I say visceral responses from people, I'm like, oh my God. But there are some serious allegations against him. Some proven, not so good allegations.
About what? Can you give us? Wait, I feel like we need to take a pause on like the people we know to learn the lore on the people we don't know. What are the allegations against Eric Wade?
Have you never seen a Colleen O'Neill video about him?
See, that's the TikTok side of things. I feel like I moved over to the Twitter cesspool right when Colleen was blowing up.
Flipper.
I know. Because I had, you know why? Because when I'm on TikTok, then I feel like I have to like get dressed up in my like characters.
You're so good. So, the people love it. The people love you on TikTok.
Yeah, but it's much easier to just type a tweet.
No, I fully understand that.
There's way more money on TikTok though. When I was Twitter.
Then Twitter, correct. Yes.
To clarify, for people in the chat, if you ever just make a random video that goes viral on TikTok, suddenly you have like $1,000 in your bank account the next day, and it's really crazy, and you don't really know why. And then you put a lot of effort into the next 47 videos, and none of them go viral, and it doesn't happen again. But that one time, I made a Bluey edit once, and I got like $2,600 from one Bluey edit.
Wow. Well, people do love Bluey.
It was like
my dogs watch Bluey.
You told me that, but yeah, it's the craziest thing. TikTok's a crazy place.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It literally, and you could make a video that you're like, this is the best video I've ever made, and you go check it later, and it has like 10 views, and then you make the most like random video that I just like took out my phone and recorded this, and then it has like 100,000 views in 7 seconds, and you're like, what's happening here?
Yeah. No, literally though. But yeah, do you see how like if you just like go through I'm big on patterns. You guys know this by now.
But wait, you have to tell us who Eric Wade is with Colleen. Just before I forget.
I don't feel comfortable talking about
Everybody go do your own research. Okay.
Completely honest. Gotcha. Yeah, you just I feel like the Free Karen Reed page on Facebook has some stuff. You can just search up his name, and I'm sure Colleen's videos will pop up for you, as well as other people that are talking about him. Yeah, he's retired now, so he's out of there. But yeah, if you scroll down, like you'll start to see like no one goes into that room anymore, which is so bizarre. It's just like everyone's in there in the morning, and then it's like it's just no one. Lank, Gallagher. Brian Albert calling Brian Higgins. Oh, Brian Higgins calling Kevin Albert. See, even though Kevin Albert wasn't there, he was in spirit because he was being spoken to the entire day. Or like there was calls.
That's why I think it's crazy that he never had to testify, that we don't even have one like interview with him or anything. Like what's happening?
He was protected.
I mean, he is their best detective.
Dude, fucking Gallagher. I'm like, excuse me. He's doing, now we're seeing all these like behind the scenes deals, but there was already so many stories between Kevin and Chris, and how Chris would just call Kevin, and it's like, but now they can't do that anymore. So now there's call logs that you can see, like, oh, another call disturbance at D&E Pizza.
He's like, you guys, there's a rubber ducky outside. Come quick.
Can confirm via the police logs that are public, Chris Albert is a cop caller for every.
Yeah, we saw in that video where that Mass Accountability had, where him and Colin went in and they sat down as if like they're they're like disclosing like a deep dark secret of like childhood predators, and then they're like, I was driving and I saw the same car twice.
Colin was like,
oh my,
so he was looking at me a funny way. I knew he was recording me, and then like he followed me, and none of Colin's story made sense because Mass Accountability is one of those like police auditors, and he always has cameras all over him, like body cam, whatever, glasses, phone, dash cam. So it's like Colin's story didn't add up, and I don't think he was realizing what he was trying to accuse this person of, this person who just had consistent camera footage of what Colin was doing.
And then they were like, oh, so like it's not harassment right now. Like, how many more times do I have to like be scared of him till it is harassment? Like,
they tried to claim stalking, Emily.
Yeah, that's what it was. Stalking. Yeah.
It's the first time he was ever in Canton PD. Well, for like filming the like Karen Reed footage, he had been there to watch the cops before, but like,
like, do they know like there are real like stalker? There are people who are like really being stalked in the world, like who are truly like scared at every turn. Like there are real problems in the world.
Did you ever hear about the belly bump assault?
No.
No. Oh, okay.
I don't think so. Have I?
I fucking love Whitey. Whitey, if you ever see this, I love you so much. So we heard of Rubber Ducky Gate, right? With Richie Schiffer, and about how they tried to press charges and he had to hire Bradle and do the whole thing. Remember that? Rubber Ducky Gate?
Yes. Oh, okay. Of course. Yes.
So then there was also belly assault gate where so Chris Albert just wasn't also a select board member. He also was, I think, I don't know if it was finance committee, but there was another committee that he was on as well, which is common. It's a small town. They'll have multiple committees that they're on, right? So it was four of them went in to watch Chris Albert at this committee, and no one had gone in and watched Chris Albert at this committee before. And Chris Albert was not expecting these four men, who we all know, I'm sure by now. And he got pissed because when he was trying to leave, Whitey was in the doorway, whatever, and like held the door open for Chris Albert. And like he's got a belly, you got a beer belly or whatever, right? And Chris like walked into it. So Chris Albert
like into the door.
Yes. So Chris Albert, first of all, the 911 call, which is on record, which I have.
He called 911 because he walked into a door.
He tried to claim, first he tried to say not assault. The first story was, oh, I could smell the alcohol on his breath, and now he's driving, and I'm concerned that he's driving drunk. That was the first claim against Whitey, that he was driving drunk. First, then the cops pulled over Whitey, and guess who wasn't drunk? So they couldn't do anything.
Also, Chris, have you met your family? Maybe that's not a tree you want to bark up when you guys are all walking out of the bar with your White Claws and you've been drinking since 4:00 in the afternoon and you're just all stumbling out to the parking lot. Okay, so he's not drunk. They believe him. They go follow up. They pull him over. He's not drunk.
Not drunk. That clears. Then there's a subsequent follow-up where he makes up a story about how he was assaulted
by a door,
by a belly. So then Whitey had to go into court and fight a belly bump assault. and
what year was this? So this was after he was on the select board.
It was around the same time as Rubber Ducky Gate. It was all that similar summertime, fall time.
Did they have Yuri investigate? Did Yuri have to go out and get a transcript and suddenly know how to like actually record entire transcripts of interviews?
You know, this oh God, what just happened? Something just happened. Oh, my Google Doc was like reload. No, cancel. My whole face was like, meh. That actually would be an interesting public records request to get all that info, because it changed. It's just the fact that he called 911 and the call literally was like, he's drunk and I could smell the alcohol on his breath, like word for word. And then of course Canton Police was like, sure, we believe Chris Albert. He's, you know, respectable business owner and select board member. Of course we're going to believe him. And then we pulled over Whitey and it wasn't anything. But yeah, so then
I'm gonna message Kyle about this tomorrow, and he's gonna be like, "What are you talking about?" I'm gonna be like, "No, just you have to just get. There's a Belly and a Chris and a door."
Yes, so it's James White. He used to live in Canton. That's how obviously Chris knows him, and Chris Albert. It was criminal charges, and he had to go to court and fight this because he said it wasn't
my
assault.
God. Did he have to get an attorney and everything? I hate this. Like,
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
This
is why when like
FOIA requested.
Like people will come to me and like, wow, you're really hard on Chris. I'm like, cause he's a fuck ass. That's why he's told all of this shit.
And it's like, you don't have to be like, you just didn't, it's the same thing like with that person in the chat before, where it's like, sometimes you're just gonna like see a person that you don't like, and like, that's okay. You don't have to like punish everybody that wronged you, or everybody that looked at you the wrong way, everybody that like you feel a negative feeling when sometimes you look up at somebody and you see them and you feel a negative feeling, and really that's just because you're in a bad mood and you had to eat something, and then you feel better. You see that person again and you're like, I like that person. You don't have to punish every single person that makes you feel a little bit bad.
It honestly, it was that time frame where they still had control and they still had the opportunity and the means in order to like obviously punish people in whatever way that they wanted to. And it was around that time where things were starting to change a little bit, because there was a lot more pushback, especially with all the standouts. And it finally got to the point where and at least some of them realized like, oh yeah, things are changing around here. Like we can't just keep getting people in trouble over nothing.
Well, think about like, okay, for the first part after like January 29th, 2022, for the first like 4 months, they were probably just like on edge the whole time, because like everything's kind of unfolding. They don't really know what's going to happen. But now they've gone through a full year and couple months where nobody was asking them questions. Nobody was following up. Like they probably started to have days where it wasn't the first thing that they thought of when they woke up in the morning, and they were like not worried for a little. They were probably like a little bit worried still, like it, you know, it's in the back of your head, but you're not like every turn all paranoid. And then suddenly April 10th happens. The ice cream truck feds show up. A week later, Aiden writes this article, and then suddenly people are retweeting it and asking questions, and he's doing live streams. And it's like everything that they were scared of a year and a couple months ago is suddenly coming true. And they had convinced themselves it wasn't going to happen, which is almost worse than if it had just happened to them like right away.
Right.
Like they thought they were getting away with it.
I mean, the whole sentiment.
They did get away with it technically.
From those in town, you know, I mean, even locally, right? We all heard about the whole Ring camera that ended up a thing, but like there was chitter chatter in town from the start. Like the only problem is that there was no proof to recognize people's reputations. So it's like it was only, I guess you could call it like towny gossip. And then things started coming out, like you said, the ice cream truck. So, oh well, things are changing. Things have changed. You have Mike Daniels, who's now the Canton chief. He's not going to take shit. And people have asked me about my opinion. Like, do you think Goody is going to be allowed back in? You know, his internal affairs investigation is taking so long. And I'm like, that's probably because there's more than one Canton cop that was talking like that. There's going to be some kind of crossover, and they're probably saying or thinking in the back of their mind, what the fuck do we do with this mess? Do I think Chief Daniels, who is black, is going to allow a racist, per attorneys who have said this, per attorneys, not just Karen's, but multiple other criminal cases, including someone that was hired by a McCabe. Do I think he's going to be allowed back in? No, I don't see. I see Goody soon being fired and eventually being decertified if it's very similar to what Proctor was doing and saying.
I mean, that's the kind of situation too, where even if you want to do you scratch my back, I scratch yours, it's not giving him his job back. Like this is not a situation you come back from like that. If you were going to be real corrupt, maybe you're like, I'll put you in touch with so-and-so and so-and-so, and you'll end up in a different department quietly and nobody will know. I just need to, the other day when Karen's team said, we want Good's disciplinary records. And then the lawyer for Canton was like, literally it was like, but there's like so many files. That's like a really big burden for us. Like, I don't know if we can like really get that done for you guys. Like, oh, so he's been disciplined so many times that you can't like carry all the papers.
I mean, that town attorney walked in with no argument, and Gilday, after everything, and he's only been on the case since November, he's had it. You can tell Gilday is like, get your asses going, take the depots, and then you have this attorney waltzing on in being like, well, I don't have any case law and I don't have any arguments. We just think it's going to affect the investigation. And like Gilday's like, that's not an argument. You need to have something. And he gave him nothing.
He literally, the judge now tunes out until he hears the word deposition. Like they're just talking and talking and talking. And then he was like, I'm sorry, I just got really excited because I heard you say the word deposition. And they're like, yeah, we did one.
I really do like Gilday. I'm really happy he's on the case. He's being very fair. He's being transparent. He's not letting anyone go lollygagging. Because, like, if this was Canoni and this was criminal court, you just know either A, the town would have been allowed to do whatever they want to do, or they would have limited the scope significantly of what Karen's team would have gotten. Like, very much limited. So I feel like what happened, the town ended up agreeing, for those of you who aren't following the civil case, the town agreed. And if we had to guess, there's some like confidentiality agreement going on there where they can't divulge. We'll see it in court filings eventually after the internal affairs investigation's over. Didn't AJ just say we're about to see soon the dropping of the case of Karen suing MSP in Canton? I think that's coming soon. Like soon.
Yes.
He said
it had to wait. There was like a window. There's like a certain amount of time that had to pass.
So you're thinking of the present. Oh man, how it's late.
There's too many cases.
The presentment period. But that is done. So Massachusetts State Police already said, yeah, whatever. It's basically they answered it, and they had to wait till Canton's time was up. That's done and cooked. Like that's already been the 6 months. So they can file this case now whenever. Because that was
many cases.
I got them all. I know them all.
Yeah, I know you do. That's incredible. Sometimes I think I know them all, and then a new document will pop up, and I'm like, I can't even take the time to figure out which one this is from. Who are we on offense or defense here?
Well, you know what was confusing is when they were fighting, they had Cosgrove on to fight for Karen's cell phone release. That wasn't a case. That wasn't attached to any case. So like trying to figure out where these filings were a pain in the ass because you couldn't just pull up a case. Like you had to like search.
Wait, was that when Karen fired that one attorney that she had? Is that day?
No, this was recently. You don't remember how
So do you remember what I'm talking about when she had that one attorney who tried to do her cell phone fight and then everybody online was like, I could have done that better. And then she fired that guy.
So Ben Yerbelis was still on getting her phone back. And also Rosenberg was there. Seligson.
This one was live. This was not on Zoom. This was in the courtroom.
I'm having a brain fart.
And then like Yannetti took a picture with that guy or something like after, and it was like a thing.
Oh my God.
You're gonna know what I'm talking about when
was it Seligson? Because he's not fired. He just took a step back.
No.
And Rosenberg.
Before that, another guy who like he literally stood up in court and like didn't know what he was talking about with her phone. Anyway.
Oh yes, don't remember him. But
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about now. Yeah, that was a long time ago, right?
It was like a year ago. And
Boozey.
yeah, Steve Boozey. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't just imagine that. This is what I mean by there's too many cases, there's too many attorneys. Who can keep track of any of this?
The good thing about her cell phone is Cosgrove didn't appeal, which means guess what? Karen Reed has her cell phones back, and so sorry to Diller, but you did a big fuck up, and then you had to pay for everything. So not only did Karen Reed get her cell phones back, but now technically the O'Keefes have to pay for the storage, the extractions, and whatever else they want to do with the cell phones. Diller and the O'Keefes have to pay for it because they made a false claim in court.
And guess what? Even if they had gotten her phone, there is nothing on there that's going to prove witness intimidation. Like, give it up.
It was ridiculous. It was overreach. It was highly speculative. And it's just like,
and they're still pursuing it. Like that's still the angle we're going. Like you're still trying to figure out, like, I thought this is just a run-of-the-mill hit and run pedestrian accident.
When they can't fight your facts, they will attack your character. And that's exactly what they're doing here in the court system.
It's like so, I mean, really, it's like such a character flaw where it's like, you could have just not, like everybody could have just gone home. The case was over. Like everything was done. Like, okay, take your ball and go home. You lost today. Have a nice day. Everybody has their freedom. Like even the O'Keefe family is like somewhat happy. They have their friends. Like we're good. You could have just gone and lived your life, but no.
They really missed out on suing the government and being able to get a settlement out of that, truly. But I do think a lot of that is geared toward hatred of Karen and her defense team. I think that's really what's guiding a lot of it. And also too on the other side too. I do think it's just it's part misogyny, part hatred, part not wanting to educate yourself on specific topics and like fact check and surrounding yourself in a bubble where everyone thinks the same and everyone agrees with the same stuff. So it's sad in the end.
I can answer this. How do you know what's on a phone that you have not seen, Emily? Well,
oh, for fuck's sake.
Here's how I know. Because for Karen to want to intimidate a witness in this case, you need to help me understand what story she wants them to change their testimony to. Because if she wanted the witnesses to change their testimony to "you killed John in the house," that's a really weird thing that she would be trying to intimidate them to do. If she was like, hey, if you don't say you killed John, I'm going to kill you. They'd be like, okay, I'm still not going to say that. And now I'm also going to go tell somebody that you told me that. So she wasn't doing that. She wasn't asking them to change their testimony to say they did it. So then what does she want them to change their testimony to? And if she doesn't want them to change their testimony, then she wants them to keep the testimony that they ended up saying in the trial, which freed her. So I don't know what she's trying to intimidate them to do, which is how I know she wasn't trying to intimidate anybody. The end.
I'm doing woosah over here. Sunshine Love. That's a lovely picture, by the way.
Where?
Sunshine. She got a good picture.
That's you just know that was like a nice sunny day that day.
Sunshine Love.
Okay. Is there anything else? It's midnight. I'm going to Matthew Farwell's hearing in the morning, and I need to not fall asleep in federal court. Is there anything else we should touch on before we depart?
We didn't even get to the John O'Keefe and Kevin Albert stuff.
Okay, can we do a part 2 and do that? Because I feel like that actually deserves its own like attention.
Oh, 3. I did. Did I do 5 or 6 videos on TikTok about?
I'm gonna share. I'm gonna put the link to. I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna put the link to your TikToks on those in the comments.
It's a lot because it's just like, man, you know, it just goes to show how Canton PD was allowed to just do what they wanted, and
if you just take your TikToks. If you just take your TikToks and put them all into one video and then put them on YouTube, then you don't have to keep overthinking having a channel, and that's just your channel for now.
So I was doing that, and then people kept commenting, being like, "Why is her videos vertical?"
Watch it on your phone.
I was like, because it's exhausting having to do all of the medias, all of the social medias. It's tiring.
No, that's why you could just download them, put them in Canva, back to back to back. Don't even edit or anything. Save, upload, go, and I would watch those. Because TikTok is just hard. You have to be like on TikTok. Like I have to be watching a video and then you have to like go to the next one. I want to put on a YouTube and like have it in my ear and not have to.
Emily, you can load my playlist.
Well, but you can load your playlist for us onto YouTube, and then you have your channel. And you wanted to like get it going.
It was going, and then it stopped. It did a hard stop. It's been a year.
Put those that 6-part series, and there's your start.
Oh man, ADHD is just a ball of fun. You literally get stuck on a subject. You go, I need to find out everything now. I need to understand these key swipes and what's DOTL and where's this and why was this person going there? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, no, it's been a ride.
Yeah. But thank God you're asking those questions, because like I look at that spreadsheet and I'm like, oh, this is a lot of information all at once. And the person that I would have seen the better spreadsheet from blocked me, so I didn't have that.
Emily's feelings are really hurt. she's very upset.
Help.
Meanwhile, because I blocked.
Do you know I've had their profile up right here on my screen this entire show, like right here. It's like she's still really looking at me that they blocked me.
She's really sad. Meanwhile, I'm totally like, because I already said it, you know, I'm the person that blocks everyone. So if I see someone's already blocked me and I'm like, oh, I must have said something they didn't like. I'm like, fine. Well, I'm an extra cheese pizza kind of gal, okay?
I'm trying to see if they even ever tweeted at them or anything. Who are they? Do we know who they are?
Oh, Kate said I need to come on with the expert. That would be funny because you guys are funny together.
That would be so fun. I feel like you're like the AP class. We're still in kindergarten over here.
As a gal who was never AP, hell yeah, I feel great about it. Listen, folks, if you need to aspire to be anything and you're watching, you're in high school, I doubt it. Emily, do you know your demographics?
No.
Oh,
no idea.
It's probably our age and older. But yeah, if you're in high school and you're watching, just know if you're not an AP now, you could be when you're in your 30s.
You could be teaching the AP class. I took AP classes and now I'm in kindergarten, and you didn't, and now you're teaching the AP classes. So there we go.
Just takes a little focus, maybe a little gummy every now and then, and a little dedication.
I took AP Journalism, AP World History, AP something else, English maybe, writing, and it wasn't worth it. we all ended up in the same place. It was just, I was a little more stressed out for a little while.
No,
So I don't recommend it.
Journalism did you well.
Yeah, actually, I liked my teacher, Mr. Barron. He was the best.
You still remember him? Well, your world history too, because you can learn from patterns from world history.
Yeah, it was a nerd. I am a nerd. This is not like new news.
I mean,
Zach, you know that.
You see all of her graphics and stuff, you know.
the FOIA and Find Out website. It's good to
like. I'm like, okay, guys, I actually put everything into a website for you to access it more easily, just for fun.
I'm in advanced age class.
Mitchell's on fire tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna link your Kevin and John TikToks. That's my next to-do list. Then I'm gonna go to sleep and I'm gonna go see that monster of a scumbag tomorrow.
Yeah, because what time is the hearing?
10.
Oh, shit, I can't go.
It's like literally the one time I can, like anytime they're like, and there's a 1 o'clock hearing. I'm like, nope, can't do that. Oh, there's a 10 o'clock hearing. It's the one time I can go.
See, I love these 2 p.m., 3 p.m. Read civil hearings. And I'm like, yes, I can watch them. Right.
That's when I can like have it in an earbud while I'm like chasing Carter around. And then I'm like, wait, hold on. What's happening?
Yeah. Yeah. 10's tough. And then getting into town at that time is tough too.
Yeah. Actually, the really hard one was getting to Kelsey's. I was like on 95, like stuck in the worst traffic. And I was like, I'm not even going to make it. Like, why am I doing this right now? Lauren knows. I got there and I was like, okay, I got to go pick up Carter now. Bye.
Yeah.
Like literally, I got into the courtroom for like 10 minutes.
Coming from the South Shore up to North Shore is a pain. And then also too, coming on the way back because you're hitting traffic with people going home from work. So it's just, a double whammy. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah. Kelsey has something tomorrow also in family court. And last time Farwell had a hearing, Kelsey also had a hearing the same day. They're like on the same schedule.
There's a lot of crossover with all the dates. If you start to recognize everything, you go, oh, damn. Like everyone's has a hearing. Actually, I'm pretty sure Karen next week. It's the second. I think
I feel like this is the pattern. There's always like, it's like 2 days after these guys, then Karen comes in. And then every once in a while, I feel like we just wake up in the morning and they're like, who's doing Karen's hearing today? And it's like, which one? Like, what's happening?
I know. It's like, there's so many. Oh, Print of Whale said, I blocked Emily.
No, you didn't, Zach. Actually, Zach, I have a funny surprise for you in Squirrel School this week.
Oh, geez.
I mean, it's really funny, actually.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Do I need to watch?
Yeah, Zach's been like this forever, I found out. Zach hasn't changed.
Oh.
But yeah, also, I'm still scrolling 3 Clerk Monty, so I need to get it out.
Emily's really like, her feelings are really hurt. They're really
I just want to know why.
You don't have to do anything wrong. Coming from someone, like I said, that does all the blocking, you don't have to do anything wrong. Sometimes you just want to block.
But what if I did do something wrong and then I don't even know and I couldn't even say sorry? And what if I was right and they were wrong?
Oh, so now you're flipping the script. Emily's like, please tell me I didn't do anything wrong.
What if there was a misunderstanding?
I just want everyone to be happy.
Like literally.
Hands. Let's do Ring Around the Rosie.
Yeah, see, sometimes we wake up in the morning and Kyle Sharkey's messaged us and been like, hey, just so you know, there's a hearing. And Kyle, I don't know how Kyle Sharkey knows everything all the time, all at once.
He keeps a very good log, which I highly appreciate.
So organized.
Someone's got to freaking do it because now she's on 4 cases. She's got 4. She's got a 5th coming up. Yeah, no, man, it's a lot. It's a lot.
I bet Corey has a spreadsheet too.
Yeah, someone's got to freaking do it. That's not my forte. My forte is watching and then divulging and like really getting to the nitty gritty. I am not a numbers person. Not at all.
Mine's taking what you do and then bringing it down to the kindergarten level.
You should like me and numbers. You should have seen me trying to hang these things. They're crooked and they're slanted. My poor Karen keeps falling every other day. She keeps smashing, and I'm like, is
they're
this
that slanted that they keep falling.
It's true. Although I will say my Taylor Swift house has yet to drop, but for some reason Karen keeps falling in the ducks. It's a sign if these two things keep falling.
You know what you need? Do you have this stuff? This is like glue dots. If you just put like 2 glue dots on the bottom, then it will just be crooked, but she'll be hanging in there.
Well, she doesn't, they don't look crooked, right? Because I was like, they don't look
not at all.
bad. They don't look bad on camera, but yeah, I'll come in here after the dogs do their thing, and I'm like, God damn it! Like I said, today the microphone was broken, and she was knocked on the floor, and I'm like, I don't know.
No, you need this. They're like little. Okay, they're like these little glue dots, and you just put like one of them, and they're so sticky.
I need more like arts and craft people in my life to tell me these things.
Meatball Morrissey's Sketty Stain has like an entire shelf of every type of glue. She was like, "What's your favorite type of glue?" I was like, "I don't know that there's more than one." And she was like, "This is like A4. This is A7." I have no idea what you're talking about, but okay.
I legit had no idea. Is there's a fellow Swiftie. I love your folklore house. Thank you. I'm glad you know that. Thank you. With my tchotchkes on it. You see the little Karen Reed thing that they were giving out at one point too. But yeah.
It looks really cute. I don't know what the folklore house is. I feel like I was meant to be a Swiftie, but I just like missed the boat on that too. Same with Bravo. So then I'm like, it's too much to catch up on.
No, it's not. You can listen to any music whenever you want. It doesn't have to be Taylor Swift.
No, I mean, but
you want.
But okay, I like Taylor. That's the thing. Is like I like Taylor Swift's music, but I feel like I'm like, oh, I like that song. And then people are like, because did you know that she was dating John Mayer at the time? But then really she liked so and so and so and so. And so the reason why she says cloud in the second verse of the third paragraph is because it starts with the letter C. And if you actually go back, John Mayer's favorite letter was the letter C. And I'm like, no, I just liked the way the song sounded.
So you're talking about a Speak Now song. See, like, cause I'm like, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
See, I can't catch up. I would like for a little while on TikTok when all of her when everybody was like at all the shows, I was like, oh, that looks like a lot of fun. I feel like I would have liked that.
Even like my non or less Swiftie friend, we went to Foxborough for the second day, and it was the rainstorm day. And when we had a grand old fucking time, man. We Ubered in, we didn't have seats. We tried to get seats. We tried to get seats, but then I was like, fuck it. We'll go get some red Solo cups. It always goes back to Solo cups. We'll make our own margaritas. We'll go get a pizza. And we stood, you know, you've been to obviously the Foxborough Gillette Stadium, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know
I was at Trader Joe's there today.
Oh man, I love that. Trader Joe's is the best.
Yeah, I was literally there earlier.
$2 Chuck is overrated, by the way. People it's not even $2 anymore. I think it's like
no, it's like 10. And
what?
It makes me, yeah. It's not, you could just get an actual like bottle of something that you like at that point.
A regular old wine.
Yeah. And that won't make you like super red.
Or it's full of sulfites and the hangovers on that are awful anyways. So do you know where Red Robin is in the Gillette Stadium?
Yeah.
So picture this. It's freaking downpouring. That was a great night, by the way, Chase. She played some great surprise songs. So picture this. We have our red Solo cups. It's downpouring. So that means we're getting water all in our margaritas. And we're like, we don't have seats. So right in front of Red Robin, where it faces into the stadium, there's these like big old like half barrel flower pots. They're huge. They're like 4 or 5 feet.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's where we posted up. So we stood on top of it. They had just put in new flowers. I felt real bad.
You were just all like in the flower. You were just the flowers.
We were the flowers. But we got a direct view into the stadium, which was a direct view for the catwalk and all of the screens. And I remember speaking to some clients the next week. It was amazing. And I talked to some clients the next week that went, and they were like, you had a better view than we did. And we were in the stadium. I was like, yeah, it was a lot cheaper. And we got super drunk off of Casamigos. We had a great time.
Casamigos and rain.
And rain. there was margarita mix in there too, but eventually it was just watered down Casamigos. Because like, what can you do? You're just holding up, a solo cup in the downpouring rain.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great. It was good time.
It was like keeping you hydrated. It was like mixing in a water. That's what they always tell you to do. It's like have a drink, mix in a water.
Right. But that's what I mean. Like you don't need to be, a Swiftie to, especially the Eras tour. That was just such a blast.
Okay. I need to go to bed so that I can take notes in the morning.
Oh, sorry. My bad. I told you, this is why I don't do lives. I could literally talk all fucking night. I
would do this all night too. If I didn't commit to doing this tomorrow, we would be looking at John O'Keefe's text messages right now. I just know that if we do that, then I'll never go to sleep.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm going to link your TikToks right now so people can go watch that if they are curious about what in the world we're talking about.
Thanks.
You're the best. You're like literally the way that you know that I said this before, but it's like, I feel like I know this case and then I talk to you and I'm like, I don't know anything.
Well, I think it's because I just, took the time to get to know a lot of the people from Canton, and I listened to them with an open mind and I didn't judge. And, I keep open communication with people, and, I love the boots on the ground people. You know what I mean? It's just like, I just like to keep an open mind, and I try to be objective, even though people think like, oh, she's all for quick Karen Reed. I do, even these new civil cases. Let's see what comes about it. Let's see who the attorneys are, and maybe, she'll get a fat settlement. Who knows? But there's a lot that I don't know, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with not knowing it all.
You're okay with it until there's a spreadsheet about it, and then you're like, actually.
No, but that taillight, I'm so glad. That damn diffuser, and then it went off the deep end.
For me, it's the taillight in the snow. So I feel like together we're just like, none of this is real.
No.
Like, this didn't happen.
No. No. And we also maybe need to recognize that there's a whole story that we don't know what happened, and we may never know what happened. But we do know is that John O'Keefe was not hit by Karen Reed's car at whatever throttle, at whatever speed, at whatever time. That's it.
She could have been driving the entire way home in reverse at 24.2 miles per hour, and it still wouldn't mean that she hit John. Like, the car could have gone in reverse at the exact same time, and it still doesn't mean she hit John, because she didn't. That's just not how it look. Bump your arm into your car tomorrow and tell me that there's not going to be a bruise there. Anyways, I could do this
I
all
want
night.
Kat, every single one of you, to go and smash your hand on your taillight.
And figure out an angle that you could do it, that it would only break the taillight and not break your arm, but also scratch your arm. It's just not possible.
But
It didn't
also
happen.
only damage a certain part of the taillight, not the hatchback part of the taillight that also made contact allegedly with his arm.
Oh, because they said that he had his hand here and the glass hit that little scratchy mark that
And right
somehow got
below it-
bigger when they
I
didn't
know.
they repaired everything except for that, and they actually just made that scratchy mark bigger.
I think they wanted to keep something on the vehicle to see if it would like make it go for higher for the auction, which then ended up getting canceled anyways, which then ended up going to whatever dealership, and they sold that in like a day.
I drove past it when I went to Whole Foods and at Legacy Place, and I was like, this is so stupid. Like, what? It's just like here now, like in a used car lot. What are we doing here?
No, I'm not even kidding. I would like, I'm test driving this motherfucker. I want to see all of the dings.
I should have. Instead, I just like took a video as I drove by, and I was like, okay, cool. Saw the car.
I thought the thing wasn't drivable. Apparently, they fixed it up so well, the infotainment system, that they were able to get it back in driving.
Brought to you by JB Auto Care or whatever it was.
Yeah, well, he made the money off of it, and then the dealership obviously made probably half. I think JB Auto probably got 50 to 60, if not 70, and then they sold it for the 100. So
yeah, so everybody wins. Karen never has to see that car again.
I really wish it would have went to like some museum for people to learn about it though.
Well, that's what felt weird. It was like now I'm just like seeing it in a used car lot. Like it's just I don't know. And even it must have been weird for the people that still think it's a murder weapon. It's like the whole thing is weird.
And this is the thing. If it truly was a murder weapon, they wouldn't have released it back to Karen Reed. They don't release guns and knives back to the alleged acquitted, killers. They don't.
Even if they're found not guilty, I think they like find a reason to hang on to it. So yeah. All right. Zach says we have to go to bed, so we have to go to bed.
I don't wanna.
I know, same. Okay, but I'm gonna because I'm gonna go to court in the morning, and I'm not gonna miss that. Okay, we're doing this again. You're amazing. I'm obsessed with you. We're all obsessed with you. The chat is obsessed with you. Please come back and share your brain with us anytime, all the time, every day. I would do this every day until we figure this thing out.
I know.
And then I would do it every day just for fun.
Fingers crossed. Hopefully someday soon. Hopefully. I'm thinking after the election, the DA election. I'm hoping.
We have to like make that happen first, but
we're fucked if Greg Conner gets elected.
I know. Trial Channel's still stuck on the wonton soup lid.
I swear to God. Boop. No.
Okay, good night. See you guys soon. Bye.
If you need a place to breathe, some stress to just relieve, then come watch Emily see, where we keep it drama free. We want justice for John O'Keefe, Aiden and Kelsey, waved bye bye to Morrissey. Let's clean up Norfolk County. Emily C, the one we need, reading sidebars with Corey, writing heck diaries, giving the people what they need. It's my pleasure to entertain, keeping you laughing makes my day. Positivity all the way. Why don't we tell Satan not today? And now it's time to say goodbye. But before we say goodnight, just keep one thing in mind. Please like, comment, subscribe.